All right, baby, let's go. Okay, so much has been going on. Life has been crazy. I wanted to update you guys with what's going on and also drop just a ton of alpha. Now that I'm spending so much time, I'm kind of like in a trial period with George, baby, with his legend gem finder guy. And legend as in he's able to manage George's life. So there's Josh, who's like irreplaceable for George, and then there's another guy that helps George find a lot of the content that he covers. And this guy is like a wizard, a content finding wizard. And so much of what we find, is kind of outside of George's purview of what he wants to cover. And so I've been thinking to myself all week, well, hey, man, there's so many things that now that I'm doing this, helping Noah, the legend, George's, stream guy, there's so much small cap gem alpha type stuff that we find that George won't ever cover much. Now, George is wanting to cover more of that, but, he spends, he only wants to cover a few projects per video, and there's so much out there going on, especially in the bull run. We just have a frenzy of things we could be looking at. Also caused me, I'm paying close attention and finding a lot of the YouTubers out there that are just gems. Some of the guys might be a little crazy even, but they're really good at what they do in a specific sector. And so I'm just going to drop all the alpha that I've got for today. So first of all, be sure, okay, to Cryptos R Us Plus. Here, let me put this in the chat. I've been cranking out some really good videos. What's up, folks? Starbuck, watching the Mythic Squad as well, trying to keep up with everything. So much going. We got Robin Hood in the house, Rubito. What's up, guys? Okay, so first of all, make sure, dropped our 4th episode of the street interviews. Also, George put out this awesome video, kind of the rundown of what we did in Miami and Vegas, IFC stuff. And I put out this hilarious IFC video, so many good things going. Be sure to watch. We got Ellie Fucks in the house. We got Freak. I love you guys. Okay. So here is that Cryptos R Us Plus channel. You have to watch some of these videos. It's hilarious. This one that I just put out, Karate Combat did a hilarious retweet of it. In fact, I should just find it. Why not? You got to see this. It's so funny. Been retweeting so much. Here it is. Karate Combat. Normies have Chuck Norris. Karate has Crypto Grady. So anyways, hilarious. But it's pinned. That video is pinned up here. This is where, okay. So fun. So much going on all over the place. Okay. So let's drop some alpha. First of all, a little bit ago, it looks like if you see the Bitcoin magazine tweets going out, there's a lot of different things. Paul Barron, which I've got some of these guys in the description below, some of these YouTubers I'm going to be showing you guys that drop some just solid alpha. Okay. Hey, yes. Got to get you guys in the house. Okay. So Paul Barron covered this. And, so if you see the Bitcoin magazine tweet that went out there, let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah. So a lot of good alpha going on. Looks like this ETF is about to be passed. Probably Monday, Tuesday. By Wednesday is the deadline. Okay. So that's the Bitcoin magazine. They had a few tweets on that went out. George might be covering this in the morning, but it might be there'll probably be more alpha by then already. So this will be like old news. CBOE files amendments for Fidelity, Wisdom Tree, and BlackRock as well to kind of like finalize this ETF for next week. Okay. And yeah, this was, sources just in, sources tell VanX, Matthew Siegel, that BlackRock has more than $2 billion lined up. So this is another thing. BlackRock has more than $2 billion lined up in week one for new incremental flows from to Bitcoin for Bitcoin holders adding positions. Okay, because a lot of my understanding is a lot of these big institutions, they can't really buy Bitcoin right now. Their only way to be able to buy it will be through the ETF, which you've heard a lot of the influencers talking about how that's how we essentially can front run. Now, of course, BlackRock themselves and a lot of these different institutions have been buying and manipulating this market. It's so manipulated, as we've seen with the news. Who knows that these could be manipulated articles to pump it so it can be dumped again. Who knows? So you always got to be careful with this. Okay. And what that kind of leads me to think, everyone's been sleeping on Ethereum. And you know that the Ethereum, once this Bitcoin ETF is passed, Ethereum's next, like fast. So Ethereum will have its day. It's kind of how the ebbs and flows of crypto, things go lazy and slow. One thing, my thoughts, it's funny how bullish George is on Solana. A lot of people are so bullish on Solana. You look at that, it's got a $42 billion market cap right now. Now, I'm still bullish on Solana, but gosh dang, how much more upside does it have? Because why do you actually need the token of Solana? The only thing you're going to be able to think of that I know of, if somebody has something, tell me. Now, I'm sure some of the protocols, obviously, a lot of the liquidity is held in Solana, different things. The only thing you're really going to be able to say, though, is the gas. Well, it's only 200 to 300 Solana per day is used in gas, and none of that's burned. And, I was even chatting with Seth with Mind Your Biz, who's kind of a wizard. He's a wizard when it comes to actually looking at the tech of things. One thing, Seth, that kind of stood out to me is the issue he has most with Solana-based tokens is that none of them use custom smart contracts for liquidity lockups for anything. It's kind of a mess over there. So one thing, now I think Solana still has good tech, but when you compare it, we're going to be looking at some of these different projects, including Solana projects. So still bullish on Solana, but the token itself, it's kind of like, one of the things that people throw out with Cosmos is, why do you need the token? That's what everyone says. Well, I can make the exact same argument with Solana. And in the past, there was a lot more use case for the Cosmos token. And I know they're going to continually be working on that. There's going to be more utility for the Cosmos token. Right now, I would say, even as it is, there's more utility for the Cosmos token than there is the Solana token. Because what do you really need the Solana token for? And so when you look at a $42 billion market cap, I don't know. It just makes me nervous. It feels like VC-ish or something. Okay. So because it's just gone bonkers at 10x essentially, or more than 10x. Okay. But nonetheless, it's got a lot going. It's got a lot of development going. It's got a lot of total value locked, things like that going. And so to recap with Ethereum, I think the ETF will be coming fast and hard, and Ethereum's going to have its day and go off fairly soon. So it's not a bad time to maybe try and front run that. I think Ethereum is still a very, very safe play, even in the worst case scenario, because so much Ethereum being burned. We know it's deflationary. There's still so much going in that ecosystem. It still dwarfs everything else. When you look at the total value locked, when you look at the development, I mean, it's not even close. Then we got the ZK sync stuff, the ZK rollups coming, and it's all going to be bullish for Ethereum. That's my thought. I miss you too. Hey, this donate guy, I mean, he's a hot topic right here on Twitter. He's got this donation tool. I love it. Okay. So I want to drop some gems here for you guys. we're going to talk some gems. So, all right. I've got so much to cover, by the way. Okay. So, for one, okay, I've been covering, we've been talking a lot on karate combat. So, if you watch Crypto Seth, who's an IFC fighter, Crypto Seth is, I would look at him as a prodigy. So there's certain YouTubers. I mean, I try to watch everybody out there to find alpha, to get to like check the temperature of what's going on. That's part of what I'm doing for George. And so, and only just like a tiny fraction of that really gets kind of passed through to George that's applicable for his streams. There's so much more. And I've been thinking, talking with Kong, maybe we'll do this more regular alpha drop type videos, just trying to add value to the whole ecosystem as a whole. Okay. So Seth, I've been top altcoins to buy right now. He's in the description below. And if you look at his history, he's so good at what he does. He is a gem finder. And and he does such thorough deep dive research on all the things that, I mean, he's big brains, knowing the right things to look at in different projects. Now, when it comes to, he weeds out most projects probably too quick, so there's going to be a lot of projects that he weeds out that might still be good projects. So I don't watch him. I watch all these different YouTubers for different reasons. Okay. And some guys, you just follow what they're good at, not what they're not good at. So I ignore what he's not good at. He's not out here trying to assess bad projects. He has a very narrow view, a very narrow lane that he stays in, and he sticks in his lane, and he's really good at it. He's really good at finding low cap gems, and he's really particular. George, he's not out there trying to reveal low cap gems. He's on a completely different, it's apples and oranges to even compare the two. I always watch George, in the past, even before, of course, now that I'm helping him with his stream planning. I watched him in the past for news. He just helps put your mind at ease. He's just, he's a good, steady, Freddy, consistent news temperature guy, but he is wanting to get in more into low cap gems, but he's not going to go overboard with that. Most of his people on his channel are like Bitcoin Maxi type guys. What's up, Sticks, intern, baby, Ellie, fucks, you're awesome. Yes, baby, let's go. Okay, so in the description below is this video, Crypto Seth. What Seth does is he just looks for a few projects that check all his boxes. He's got a real strict criteria, which I think DeFi Kingdoms, by the way, will fit right into his criteria. So I'm hitting him hard on that. We'll see. He's so busy. This guy started his YouTube channel 1 year ago, a little like 13 months ago. He's already up to 17.1 thousand subscribers, and he's got hundreds of people paying him $100 a month or $60 a month. And I think it's about to go up to $100 a month. That's how good he is. People pay him to be in his, group, his VIP group. Now, I'll never do that. I'll never have a paid subscription. I'm always going to treat my YouTube channel the same way I would my best friend or my mom and drop all the alpha as if you're in some VIP group. That's not my shtick at all. I can't imagine myself doing that, but I don't fault people for doing it. There's nothing wrong with it. And, I just have a different long-term vision than that. With that being said, signing up for his VIP group is tempting. It's something I've even myself considered doing because he's so good at what he does. He's so high IQ. He's very good at quickly assessing projects. Now, sometimes, again, like I said, he'll write stuff off too quickly. I'm going to cover another guy that's very similar, and he's even worse, this other guy, but he's gifted and talented at finding these gems and also just making magic happen, different things, getting into, getting in early on projects, even before they launch, things like that. And so he's got a track record of getting into, man, so many of these coins that have already 40, 50x'd. And if you can go back and watch his videos, and he just nails it. So in this video, and I've been following him here for a little bit, so this has been a little bit probably overdue. He hits on Karate Combat as one of his most bullish tokens in his arguments. So people that push back on the tokenomics side of Karate Combat, that was my initial concern with Karate Combat. But when you bet on the fighters, I thought maybe you would get like 50 to 100% or more than 100% of your bet if you win, but that's not true. So based off the odds of the fight, you're going to get, there was one fight that I bet 50,000 tokens on a guy. He won, and I got 5,000 tokens. Sam Alvey, because he was such a big, huge underdog, Sam Alvey, but I was just going for him. I put 100,000 tokens on him, or actually I put on two different wallets. I think I put like 100 or maybe 200,000 tokens on him. But on the one wallet, I remember I bet 100,000 tokens and got 30,000 tokens. Now that's a best case scenario. Most of the time you bet 100,000 tokens, you might get like 10,000 if you win. If you don't win, you get them all back. Okay. So it's up only gaming. Here's the thing. It's already established. That's his real world utility. It's very much in its infant stage. We only had 11,000 users of Karate Combat. Now we got the IFC coming as well. There's room. If you watched IFC Karate Combat, if you watch Karate Combat 43 in Vegas that we are all just at, Nate Diaz was there and alluded to fighting in February for Karate Combat. That was real clear. If Nate Diaz is on the card, just imagine. And they've got other people talking about it. Jake and Logan Paul. What if Jake Paul, they're trying to get him in there to fight Karate Combat? I already know that's in the works. You're going to get these big dogs coming in. The exposure, just in this next one, the exposure now, not very many people had previously heard about Karate Combat, but now we're all talking about it. BitBoy's talking about it. Ben Armstrong, Crypto Crow, George, we're all talking about it. That's going to, just that alone is going to bring in tons of crypto Web3 people. But the number of Web2 people that will be coming in, I'll be surprised if we don't at least have 50,000 users on this next fight. Okay, from 11,000 to 50,000, you got to buy the token to bet. That's why we keep seeing it pump, but it's still so early. Karate Combat, I mean, let's take a look here at Karate. And so Seth makes an awesome argument. So it's not that inflationary to make it like it's even going to matter. Okay, it's up to 0.35 cents, so less than a penny. When we first started talking about it with Seth, with Mind Your Biz and Crypto Crow and those guys, it was like there's 3 zeros. I mean, this is already like tripled or quadrupled. It's 4x, but it's still so early. The market cap is 18 million. The only dropping of the token, okay, is when we bet. I don't think there's tons of token unlocks coming or anything like that. So it's got a long, long ways to go before this thing is fully diluted market cap. And even when it does become fully diluted, like it's just going to keep growing. I think this is on its way to 1 million users. It's all got all the big dogs talking about it. I mean, it's like Seth's most bullish token and mine as well, like at the moment. Okay. And I hit up Seth yesterday on Defi Kingdoms Jewel. Of course, that's one of my very most bullish tokens. These have 100x plus potential through this bull run with DeFi Kingdoms, all the development going on now with all the things Dreamers doing, with all the things Sunbear's doing. They hired, Christian Peter and Workhorse. Just, they are out there. They're all over the place. The messaging communication is improving. The marketing is so much better. These Vizzies, we're going to have a George Vizzy. We're going to have a Crow Vizzy. They're going to be incentivized to be promoting that. Look out. There's so much going behind the scenes. It's like an iceberg. We barely see the tip of the iceberg of what's actually going on with DeFi Kingdoms. There is so many talks with so many different partnerships. The fundamentals of the game couldn't be better. The tokenomics, this one checks all the check marks. You couldn't be more bullish than hardly anything in the world than Jewel, DeFi Kingdoms, and even Crystal. It's fully minted now. And so now they're updating the pools, so we're going to be putting up liquidity. It's not new Crystal that's going to be being minted. That's all going to be coming from the end game fees, okay, for the gardens. So Crystal's very deflationary at this point. 15% of all that is being burned now. It was 25%, but now it's 15 because it's fully minted. Jade, same. It's 25% of that is being burned. Man. So, and those are so egregiously undervalued. Now, Jewel's the token to own by a mile still, I would say. But even the power tokens, look out. I could see it wouldn't, in my mind, it's like nothing to get the power tokens back up to $1, or something. That's like a low bar. So, and with Jewel blowing past all-time highs, deflationary, strong utility, so many reasons to get in that. Okay. Another token that Seth covered in this is Tectum. And if you watch my recent CRU Plus video, he gives a little spiel. This video, again, is in the description below, and he does a dedicated video on Tectum. With these tokens, such as Caspa is another one he was way early in on, and it was one of the biggest pumpers. Injective, he's way in. He was in months and months and months ago before it, 50x'd. Injective, he was in on it. Okay, so, and Caspa and some of those tokens. Caspa, these are like brand new blockchains being developed. Tectum is so interesting. Tectum has, it's like cross-chain payments. It's like a payments chain. They claim to be the fastest blockchain in the world, and maybe like actually tested, verified 1.3 million transactions per second, which blows away Visa and MasterCard. Okay. A lot of interesting tech going on. With Caspa, same. If you're a member on Sin City Crypto, they covered Caspa today. They did a good job there. The founder of Caspa, here's one interesting thing that they found that I saw today. Caspa, he was an early developer with Satoshi Nakamoto with Bitcoin developer. Then he was one of Vitalik Buterin's right-hand men developing Ethereum. Well, he basically made a whole new, completely autonomous blockchain that is built to be the blockchain of blockchains. That's how he built it, to be interoperable, to be the fastest, to be the cheapest, to be the most scalable, to be compatible, all of it. Now it's still early and it's still unproven. There's not a whole lot of actual activity happening yet with Caspa, but that one has lots of upside, even though it's already mooned. We've already missed so much of it. Okay. Another really interesting one here that Seth covers is, here's Tectum. And I'll put this tweet just so you can find their Twitter. Oh, there's Seth, baby. Hey, Seth, I'm shilling your channel, baby. I am shilling your channel. We got to get you. Yeah, you want to join in? Sure, Seth. Let's get Seth in the house. I'm going to message him right now. I love this. Seth is a gem, baby. Okay. Let's go. Real quick here. I need 3 screens. Okay. Baby. Seth, I just gave a strong pitch to your channel. All right. Even your membership. Okay. And it'll be interesting, Seth, because I've got another guy that I like. I just sent you the invite. I've got another guy that I like that I'm going to talk about here if we have time. Now that you're coming on, we'll see if we've got time. Okay, I just sent you the StreamYard link, Seth. Okay. Metis. Tell me about Metis. I'm not familiar with that. Okay. Guys, Seth is an absolute gem. He's a prodigy. I would say the man is 19 years old. He made so much money in crypto that at 18 years old, he moved to Dubai, like living in this sweet flat to save on taxes, built his channel to 17,000 subs in 1 year, and already has, like, I want to say hundreds of people paying him $60 a month to be in his VIP group. The value that he brings, big brains. Again, what he's trying to do is find low cap gems that have 100+X potential. That's his niche. That's what he does. And not meme coin type projects, but projects with phenomenal fundamentals. That's what he looks for. And he'll be the first to tell you it's all about making money. That's his main thing he's looking to do. Okay. All right. So he covers a lot of different projects, but I was looking for, let's find, okay, this project he covered called Octo Gaming. It's a Solana gaming project. Oh, wait a second. I love you, TuneFed. Yeah, Tectum, man. Tectum is really intriguing. I've been looking into it. George might be talking about it. I think he's on the fence. He doesn't like to talk about much. Okay. So Metis. Yeah, Vitalik's. I did hear about that. First ever OP plus ZK hybrid rollup. Interesting. I did hear about that one. I have not had a chance to look into that too much. This Octo Gaming. So we'll see. And we'll see if Seth comes in. It'll be fun if he does. So Octo Gaming was the third project. So Seth right now is like, I'm buying these 3 projects: Karate Combat, Tectum. Even though Tectum's mooned, it's still got a lot of room to run. One of the points that somebody made today that was really good, when we look at, for example, Neon, Seth might have been in on Neon early, and Neon recently like 50x'd, and it's probably going to keep going. Oops. But let's take a quick peek. I think it's this one. And if I need to zoom in, okay. Yeah, I think it's this one. So Galaxy Digital is a YouTube channel I have, who is he's a bullheaded guy. He's crazy. He's way too fast to write stuff off. I would say way too fast. And that's not what I watch him for. I don't watch him for projects not to get into. I watch him for projects to get into. And I ignore the projects that he doesn't like, that part of it, because he doesn't do a whole lot of due diligence. He's too quick to write. And he's almost like the epitome of narcissist central. Okay. This guy, Galaxy Digital, but he's really good at what he does. He's very similar to Seth, and he pushes back. It's interesting. I don't even think they know each other at all, because they never ever reference each other. But I think some of the community does. And he pushes back on Tectum. But the more I've looked into Tectum, I think, again, you don't look at these guys necessarily for what they're not into. You look at them for what they are into. One of the points he made with Neon right in here, this was in October. All of a sudden, Neon started pumping, and Neon was nothing. Nobody talked about them. Nobody knew who they were. But insiders knew that Neon was about to be listed on big exchanges. So there's a pre-pump that happened, and this was a big pump right in here with Neon. Okay, and it did retrace a little bit, but it was like the VC pre-pump. Then it gets listed on, it got listed on crypto.com, like right around in here. And then it blasted off. And that was like a 40x gain. from this point after it. But at that point, the insiders already made a ton of X on some of these projects. While they're still, you're early enough in, you might have missed a 3, 4, 5X. But if it's really on its way, you might have missed the potential 100 or 500X in it, but you still can get a 20, 30, 40, 50X, and so reading the tea leaves, that's what a lot of people did with Neon. And Neon, apparently the tech is so good. I'm going to be doing more research on that for George here soon. But I think it's a good one, and it's probably still early, and so that's a potential for the people that bought it in here, but you got to be kind of an insider, which we're not. We're never going to know these pre-pumps. You kind of have to be an insider to get in those. But if you were an insider and in on those, those are where the 1000X gains come from. But hey, we'll take 100X still. Neon, I wouldn't be getting into, maybe because it has just absolutely blasted off so much. But, still upside, maybe. Not one I'm getting into. But those three that Seth mentioned, Seth, are you here, baby? I've gotten into. Okay. And that, again, karate, Tectum. I want a pretty good bag of these because I think they're going to they're just early. They're so early, even though they've already pumped quite a bit. And this game here, this Octo game. Now, the Galaxy guy pushed back on both Tectum and this Octo gaming. But Seth made he's got a dedicated video on Octo gaming about 8 days ago. It hasn't pumped yet, and he makes such a good, strong argument on it. He is more bullish on Octo gaming than any other gaming project anywhere, period, which is interesting. Okay, so I'll leave it to you. His videos in the description below. Strong arguments there. It's on Solana. You can get it on Mexi, I think. Or maybe it's KuCoin. Octo gaming. And it's easy. He makes good arguments about how easy it is to get into and play simple gaming. Okay. Another guy said the team isn't that strong, so I'm not sure there. But Seth has done his due diligence for sure. All right. So a little bit of the alpha that I've recently found here. Looking at narratives, artificial intelligence, AI, was, according to CoinGecko, was the number one crypto narrative, most popular crypto narratives in 2023 by Mark, was artificial intelligence. Number 2 was GameFi. Number 3 was meme coins. Number 4, Solana ecosystem. Number 5 was the BRC20 tokens, which we saw a lot of the ordinals, a lot of different things pumped there, which there's a lot of stuff going on there that I've been kind of checked out on there. Real world. So, man, it's just, I've gotten back into the mode to where I used to be in, which has kind of been good. I got so beat down in this last bear market that I just stopped paying attention to trying to degen into anything. Now that I've starting to get my head back on straight a little bit, trying not to be crypto's number one shit show here, baby. Following these guys, and in the past I did real well. I mean, I would find the good YouTubers that are good at different things, and also do my own research on different things, even read white papers back in the day. And that's when I got into Cardano at less than a penny and sold way too much of it at 35 cents, but sold all the way out of it when it was at $3.10. I remember right at the top. Got into Axie Infinity at 50 cents. Got into Luna at 50 cents and sold a ton of it over $100. Got into, crypto.com at 5 cents and sold most of that at the top, right at the top. Got into and made over $1 million of actual sold sold profits without using leverage, just from holding, buying and holding. I remember I got into a lot of gems. Now I had a lot of coins go to zero that I was into also, but I got into Aave super early and just tens of thousands of dollars. Got into VeChain super early, made hundreds of thousands of dollars on all these coins. And so you find guys that have gifts at different things. There's other guys out there even that you can find that have a gift at finding projects to avoid. Now, a lot of these guys, another guy here that I want to show you. Okay, we're going to get back to that here in a second. Artificial intelligence. Let me show you. This guy's also in the description below. This guy, Crypto Galaxy. Now, he's the guy that I kind of just said is kind of crazy. I don't look at him at if I want him, I don't use or look at this guy for projects that he's not into. If he's not into a project, it doesn't mean anything to me. But if he is into a project, because he's a lot like Crypto Seth, he's got a strict criteria and a way of looking at things. And we're all people. Everyone has their unique skill sets and unique talents on YouTube. And you take it for what it is. This guy also has hundreds of people paying him hundreds of dollars. He's got a VIP package that people pay him $500 a month, and he's got 50 people signed up, which is he caps it at that. And then he's got hundreds of people paying him $100 a month, which is nuts to me. But he has to bring so much value to make that happen. And that's exactly what he does. So, okay. So he's, again, skeptical on Octo Gaming, for example, that Seth is really big on. Well, I don't look at him at projects that he's not big into, because he did lazy research on the project. All he said on that was he didn't like the team for some reason. So he might be right. It's not that I don't listen to him. He also knocked Nakamoto Games because it's been out for 2 years. So if the project's been out for 2 years, he's out on it automatically. Just boom. Okay. So it's like, all right. He has his own niche and way of doing things. So when he is into a project, it's really interesting. Okay. And so he's got so many interesting gems. And these guys, if you look at his history, if you go back and watch his videos, most of the projects that he's into, which is he's narrow-minded on which projects that he's into, but the ones that he is into tend to moon because he does his own style of research. He looks for all the green boxes. He never gets into meme coins, but he did get into a meme coin today. And actually a few days ago before it pumped, and he talked all about it today, this meme coin. I'm just going to show it real quick, called Myro on the Solana chain, which you can get, I think, this one on MEXC or on Radium and on Solana. This one, he's thinking it shows all the signs of the insider pump happening right now. It's the insider pump, knowing that it's probably about to come to Coinbase or something. This is the dog of the founder of Solana, just like Shiba was the dog, apparently, of the like maybe Vitalik Buterin's dog was Shiba. So, and there's some interesting tech behind this, but it's a meme coin. So he just said what Galaxy guy just said. This is Myro, MYRO. Okay. And if you go to their website, it's really interesting right out the gate. I'll leave it at that. Basically, what our boy here said, Crypto Galaxy said, which the description again is in below, said that he's like put a whole bunch of his eggs into that basket today. So he did it already. He put a little bit into it, and And he's just, the more he looks into it, saying, I'm going for broke. He thinks this is another potential like Bonk or Pepe stage where it's, and these meme coins once they run, and it's like all in on the insiders of Solana, is what he's saying. And he's purely pragmatic. He's not paid to shill any of these coins. Neither is Seth. They do their own thing, baby. And here is the man himself, Seth.
How you doing?
Dude, baby. So I covered your video yesterday.
Nice.
Of your 3 bullish tokens.
Karate, Tectum, and I believe it was OTK.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Octo Gaming.
Yep. Octo Gaming.
Very and I've got a bag of all those. You tweeted that out. I love it.
They're doing very well.
I know.
When the market was dumping, they were pumping.
Yeah. And what's hilarious is that Tectum, since, it is just ever since I first heard you mention the very first video I ever watched of yours, you're all about Tectum. And that's like 3 or 4 months ago. And, and then I watched another video and you're all about Tectum.
Yep.
And then we're in Vegas. Okay. And so I don't know if you've had a chance to watch Cryptos RS Plus video. You're in there.
I did. I watched the one you posted yesterday.
Baby.
Was it today? When we were in the car together and we are talking about how do they accept crypto? Just at Bitcoin, the DeFi Kingdoms? Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Right here, we're talking Tectum, baby.
Free Tectum promotion.
And since then, man, it was like at $8 then. Now it's gone up over $30. I think it's retraced back down to around $27 right now. You want to do a quick spiel on why you think Tectum, even though you've got a dedicated video on Tectum, which is in the description below, by the way, your channel. You want to do a quick 1-minute pitch on Tectum.
Look, it's very simple in my eyes. It's what it is in the first place. So Tectum is a layer 1 blockchain. That typically just means that it's created on its own chain. It's not on Polygon. It's not on any other blockchain. It's not on Solana. It's its own chain. And the purpose of Tectum is to scale any blockchain. It's a blockchain for finance. And you can build, or not build, you can build on Tectum, or they build on Tectum. We don't build on Tectum. They have this product called a soft note. And this soft note is a payment solution built on Tectum blockchain. The Tectum blockchain also boasts 1.3 million transactions per second. Now, this scaling solution scales most blockchains that we all know, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum are the 2 main ones that it scales, but it also scales a lot of other blockchains too. And there's many more to come as well in the future. Now, this payment solution they have allows you to transact those blockchains that Tectum scales, such as Bitcoin, such as Ethereum. Very, very fast on the blockchain, very, very cheap on the blockchain. And you can also, if you really want to, transact it physically through a soft note, through a physical bill. So it's a very unique project. I expect it to do very well. I do have a full dedicated video about it.
Yep.
Now, the main reason I think it's going to do so well is, number 1, it's new. Number 2, it's unreplicable. Not only do they have patents, so you can't just copy their project. There is no project in the crypto space doing what they're doing. And there's never been a project doing what they're doing. So we're seeing this unique project called Tectum going through a cycle for its first time, being new, being unreplicable. It's going to do very well this cycle without a doubt.
I mean, it's so convincing. And even like the pushback that people give on your show, and then you've got such good answers to all the skepticism. Great answers to karate.
Yeah, people focus on unimportant factors. At the end of the day, we're in crypto to make money. Some people say to me, Seth, but Tectum is centralized. You need a degree of centralization if you want institutional adoption for your crypto. You think the government are going to adopt something truly decentralized? There needs to be a degree of centralization. You need a centralized entity to contact institutions, to get them on board, to pitch the idea, to get them to utilize the soft note. And at the end of the day, you're an investor. Are you a decentralization advocate? Is that what you are? You're an activist? If not, then it's unimportant.
Yeah. So I agree. I'm with you that I agree with your decentralized advocates, like you said, kind of like Seth with Mind Your Biz. It's kind of that way. Or like somebody like Miss Teen Crypto is super important to them. But I think there's obviously a place for that in crypto, full decentralization. But also, if we want the world to adopt different things, there's going to be centralization. It's not a cuss word. Centralization doesn't have to be a cuss word. It just comes with its own set of
Exactly.
risks and it's just different.
Yeah,
So,
do you know what it is? Crypto people associate negative connotations with the word centralization,
right,
as if centralization is somewhat evil. It's not. It's
right,
needed, it's necessary, it's okay.
right.
And
And
nothing is
also,
truly decentralized either. This argument that your project's decentralized when the developers can pull the liquidity is absolutely nonsense.
sure. So, like, the only thing that's truly decentralized basically is Bitcoin. And even that, I mean, that's as decentralized as it could possibly be.
Yep.
And that's why we love Bitcoin, because it's fully decentralized. Okay. Now there's other things, that is required to have some levels of centralization, especially while we're building. Yeah, it's an interesting argument. So it's not that I disagree with your decentralized advocates. I don't disagree with most of their arguments. It's just there's a place for that. And then interesting argument. Shout out to Crypto Crow in the house. We got Umar in the house. We got GF Burke in the house, baby. Okay. Quick argument on people arguing about the tokenomics of karate combat. Go. 1 minute.
Yes. So what I say about the tokenomics of karate combat is very simple. The reason so first of all, people always look at FDV and they see a very high FDV and they
Mhm.
think it's bad. And the perfect example I like to utilize is projects such as Kadena, because Kadena only has 20% of the tokens in circulation. Now, the reason I use that as an example is because the FDV would be very, 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 very high because there's a lot of tokens to be released. But what they need to understand is, when are those tokens going to be released? It brings me back to the fact that we're investors. That's all we are. And ultimately, we all follow the Bitcoin 4-year cycle until proven otherwise. Therefore, we have around 2 years, a bit less than 2 years, until the supposed heights of the bull market. Now, obviously, a lot of us would be selling much earlier than that as a little safety net, but that is what's supposed to happen, Q4 2025. And if that is the case, all that matters is the token allocation of karate. So, what exactly is the breakdown of where those tokens are going,
Mhm.
and the amount of dilution or the token unlocks from now until the height of the bull market. I don't care what the token unlock is for karate 10 years from now. I couldn't care less because I would have sold at the height of the bull market and cashed out my millions. So that's the first thing we all need to understand. Don't look at FDV and get scared and think, oh, FDV, it's bad, it's too high. No, that's not how it works. It's really not how it works. Another example is Gala Games. It's not how it works. Secondly, let's look at the token allocation of karate. People want to know, okay, well, these tokens that are being unlocked, where they're going to? Most of the tokens that's going to be unlocked for karate are actually tokens that will end up in our hands. It's the rewards from the betting. That's where most of the tokens are going to go towards, the rewards of the betting. So if you participate in karate combat betting, you're going to be offsetting the supposed dilution into your hands if the fighter that you bet on does win. Now, people say to me, Seth, well, whoa, 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 whoa. If that is the case, then that surely means that people are going to end up with a lot of tokens. Then they're going to sell them, then they're going to dump them. What I say to that is, find me an example of that actually happening in crypto. Look at how high watch to earn. For example, with XCAD. Look at how high step to earn with Stepin went. Look how
Mhm.
high gaming play to earn with Axie Infinity went. This
Mhm.
argument that people are just going to sell the tokens is quite silly. And I'll tell you why. It's because when you gamble with karate combat, which is not even gambling, it's up only gaming because you can't lose any money, right? What happens is you make around 5 to 15%. And if you're making only 5 to
Right.
15%, and most people aren't going to be gambling with $1 million, $100,000, $10,000, it's going to be like $100, maybe $1,000, maybe
Mhm.
even $5,000. You're not making that much where you would sell,
Right.
nor are you making that much where it'd have a significant effect on the price.
Yes.
Nor is everyone making it. Only half of the people are making it. 50%. It's if you win. We're going to assume 50%. It's if you win,
Mhm.
right? And then also, what people need to understand is that we can compare this to traditional mechanisms such as staking. Because
Yes.
staking, right, if you're getting 50% APY over the
Yep.
year, that is the same thing as karate giving 10% if
Right.
you win 5 times throughout the year, if every single fight you bet on wins.
Right.
That's assuming every single one you bet on wins. Meaning, technically, karate is less lucrative than traditional staking mechanisms, and there'd be less dilution. Staking would give more dilution.
That's right.
The only counter argument to that is staking has a lockup period for a year, typically, sometimes shorter if it's liquid staking. In karate, you can technically sell whenever you want. But again, historically, look at play to earn, look at watch to earn, look at step to earn. When have they peaked before the heights of the bull market? Never. So that's kind of my argument against people just whinging on about the tokenomics of karate.
Yeah.
When most people don't understand the tokenomics of karate.
Yeah. You got to look at what really matters. There's so many people that will just look at, the total supply versus the circulating supply versus the max supply and then make a knee-jerk judgment on it. That's kind of a lazy judgment. In this case, we've got so little adoption for what this is. We've got Joe Rogan talking about it. We got Jake and Logan Paul talking. We got Nate Diaz. Maybe is he going to be on our cards, Seth? Nate Diaz going to get in here and fight? I mean, he alluded to it. We got,
He said he might. Yeah.
yeah. So hello, Jake Paul. Hello, people. We got, I mean, and now it's being just in the Web3 world, in the crypto world, so many people are going to adopt this thing for this next fight. Can tell you that much. Yeah. And then if you win, maybe you win 10% more tokens. Is that enough to just go dump? Well, probably not, because you probably didn't buy enough in the first place of how much you want for the future betting. Now, yeah, like you said, 2 years from now, year and a half from now, yeah, maybe we'll be taking some profits and stuff. But when we talked with Only LARPing, okay, they have vision down the road to make more utility, even burning potential. Now he didn't go there on the stream when he came on, but I know that's there because he's mentioned it before. But down the road, he's going to make it a little bit, improve the tokenomics and things in the long run. But in the short term, holy smokes, you can't be too much more bullish on a project than you are, like with the upside with Karate Combat already being, you made this point, all these points already being established, already have all the big dogs talking about it. The marketing's there. It's all there. The utility's there. It's like no brainer. And it's so early still, even though it's 4x since we first talked about it. And I keep buying.
Yeah, and also another counter argument you could use against this idea of dilution is the chart. There has been many, many, many karate combat fights already. Many. With the token, with up-only gaming. Where's the dump on karate?
We'll see little dumps a little bit maybe, but
It's
that
like
burned
small
me.
retracements, like 5 to 10%, sometimes 20% retracements. Look at the chart, just up. The price action is just increasing over time.
I'll tell you, it burned me because they do the snapshot right before the bet. So you want to make sure that your karate token is in where you're going to bet. So it's either on your Ethereum wallet or it's on you, which I would advise to avoid. Do the H bar main wallet. You just download and it's real easy, quick and easy to get set up. If you buy it on Mexi or KuCoin, it sends it in right there via H bar.
Yeah.
And
use Hashpack.
Yeah. And so it has to be there before the betting begins because they take a snapshot. Now, I didn't know that. And I waited till after the betting begins. I send in over 1 million tokens and it was too late. I couldn't bet. So I immediately sent them back and sold them with the intent to rebuy. And at first that looked like a decent move. I sold them for around 20 or 0.0023 cents and then started rebuying when it was down at 0.0018. But guess what? I didn't rebuy 1 million and now it's at 35 or 0.0035. Was a bad move.
Yeah.
So,
Ultimately, the best thing to do is to gain exposure. Don't try and time the market.
yep.
When you find a very good project like Karate Combat, it's not wise to wait around,
Mhm.
especially when it has very bullish price action. For example, if I share my screen here
Yep. Go ahead.
and you look at the price action of Karate Combat, it's rare you see a chart that looks like this.
Yeah.
Higher lows, constant high lows. Money flows increasing as well on the Vumentry Cypher B, arguably the real Cypher B,
Mhm.
right? High lows, high lows, high lows. We're just pumping. It's just clear bullish price action. And
Yeah.
what people are trying to do, and here's my issue. People are like, okay, well, if I wait until after the fight, then people earn rewards. Then they're going to sell karate. Then it's going to be dump. Then I'll buy in then. But the issue of that is from one point to another point, from now until the fight, karate may have already pumped 2x. For example, let's assume this retracement right here was after a fight. Until the next retracement, it
Mhm.
pumped 80%, or even more actually. It pumped 168%. And then the retracement, okay, it came down, but you'd still be up 2x on your money. So
Mhm.
those waiting for after the fight to accumulate because they think they're being smart. Not being smart, they're actually being silly. Because look at this price action. Just
Mhm.
high lows, very bullish price action.
Mhm.
And now what I'm going to say is once we take out this high for Karate Combat and we're in price discovery,
Mhm. Which is where
we
we
could
are
see
now,
a
right? Or no?
huge parabolic pump. We're not technically in price
Okay.
discovery from when
Okay.
it was listed on exchanges, the initial pump from the exchange listing. So
Yeah.
if someone did buy up here, they are down on their investment. But once we do get past this point and we're in price discovery, it may be up only for karate too. so yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I would say.
man. And I think I'll be disappointed if we don't have at least 50,000 users on this next fight. From
Yeah.
11,000 to 50,000. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a big increase in users this fight
Yeah.
and watchers in general. I think there's gonna be a huge increase in everything. I know for a fact that a lot of people in my community are gonna bet on me, and they better bet on me because it's not gambling, it's gaming. You can't lose anything,
Yeah, you can't lose anything. That's the
right?
thing.
But I will win, so you will win something because I'm gonna win. So
Let's go, baby. Let's go. I think you guys, you're one of your fight is one of the most intriguing fights for me. You and Shiny D, baby. Okay.
mm.
So, real quick, tell us a quick blurb on Octo Gaming, even though that's your most recent video that was pre recorded that you put out a video just dedicated to Octo Gaming. Solana
Can
Games.
you repeat that, please?
Your most recent pre-recorded video was on Octo Gaming.
Yeah.
You covered just that. You want to do a quick blurb on that?
Yeah, Octa Gaming this is the way I perceive things. I don't like to overcomplicate things.
Mhm.
It's very hard to know what's going to do very well long term and even on the
Mhm.
short term, especially if you're not the one controlling the price action, like many other people in the crypto space, cough cough Galaxy. But I perceive things very simply. For example, I look for the best gaming project on each blockchain. I got into Nakamoto Games. I'm up 40x. I
Yeah.
think it's retraced back down a bit, maybe like 35x now.
And that's
Right?
still a
That
decent buy, you think?
still a decent buy.
Mhm.
Now that is on Polygon. I
Mhm.
perceive it as the best on Polygon.
Mhm.
I move my way to Ethereum. Well, Ethereum is slow. We need a gaming project on Ethereum, but we also need it to be scalable, scaling solution of some sort. Zero fees. Myria, best gaming project on Ethereum, quite easily.
Just
Again, I'm
got
up
in
like
that one
5 to
today,
10x on
baby.
Myria. You move your
Mhm.
way over. Okay, well, Avalanche Gaming has taken off. People are saying Avalanche is going to have a gaming bull run too. So then we look for gaming projects in Avalanche.
Yeah.
Playable, best gaming project in Avalanche. Same
You
goes to
think so?
Arbitrum. Say that again.
I'm going to push back on Playable, but keep going. Finish. Yeah,
No,
keep going.
no worries. We can talk about that after.
Yeah.
Move over to Arbitrum. We have GameSwift, modular blockchain, has all the necessary buzz phrases to be marketed to. It should do very well. Then that brings us on to Solana. Well, what's the best on Solana? That's Octa Gaming. 100% without a doubt. They have a double reward system, which is so unique. When have you ever seen in crypto a double reward system where you can earn from playing the games, a traditional play to earn model? You
Yeah.
play the games, you rank on the leaderboards, you earn the tokens, but you also can earn gold from playing the games, and you can use that gold for physical assets such as gaming chairs, keyboards, gift cards. It kind of reminds you where people do loads of surveys to get gift cards and loads of rewards. It's that same thing, but in crypto on the blockchain. So it's a very unique thing. I think it's definitely going to garner tons of investment. Also, huge backers of the project too. Brand partnerships of Logitech and other big names out there. It's on KuCoin. It's backed by KuCoin Labs. It should do very well.
Yes. Do you know very much about the team? I know you said this is hilarious. I knew you wouldn't like Galaxy, the Galaxy guy.
I don't mind Galaxy. He just calls everything a scam. Like,
Yeah,
for, for
you don't
example, he
watch
called
him
Tectum
for
a scam. I'm up huge on Tectum. He called
yeah.
Chlorei a
Uh-huh.
scam. I made a 10 to 15x on Chlorei. The list goes on. I can keep going on and talk about all the things. He called Nakamoto a scam. I'm up 40x on Nakamoto. If
Right.
you're in crypto to make money, how's it a scam?
Here's what he said on Nakamoto is that, oh, it's too old. He won't look at a project that's 2 years old or older. Period. It's like out for him.
It's very silly, and I'll tell you why right now. The biggest gains I've made in crypto this bear market have been from so-called old projects. Nakamoto, Injective, even Demetra, Viot, they're all old. And in every single one of those, I made a 55x, a 40x, a 40x, and a 30x. They're all old projects. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's not that you should only look for new projects. It's that being new is a bullish factor. So basically, like, if you have a solid project,
right,
and you had to choose between it being old and new, you'd obviously pick new. Because being new means it's never been through a cycle before. Its marketing is taking place this cycle. No one's heard of it. You can generate more hype around it. It's bullish.
Yeah.
But if it's old, it's not bearish.
Right. And so I would say that he does make great calls though. So I don't listen to him for anything negative he has to say about anything. But when he does talk on projects that he is bullish on, he's got a track record similar to yours. That's kind of what I was saying.
I'll tell you one thing, my friend.
Yeah.
If you control the price action, you can never be wrong on a call.
Do you think he's that? Would you guys say you're that big? Now, sometimes you guys do pull a lot of weight when you guys are talking about a coin at pumps, but how much? It's not like the George effect, would you say?
It's stronger. It's stronger. I'll tell you why.
Because it's a smaller cap.
Smaller cap. When you have communities of thousands of people, don't underestimate the buying pressure that has.
Yeah.
Look, Galaxy's a nice guy. I like him. I like him. I like him to a certain extent, but he just calls pick scams when they're not scams. It's basically it's basically an excuse to not look into the project. You just call it a scam.
He's quick to push stuff down. He said the Octo Gaming, he didn't like the team, which was interesting.
Team, it's all buzzwords.
Yeah. Okay. So he hit on Myria today, which was one I was going to cover in this, which is a gaming project that he's bullish on, and you are also bullish on. You guys are both bullish on a lot of the same things too. So I bought that one today. So I wanted to tell you about DFK, Defi Kingdoms. Have you looked into that one much?
I haven't looked into DeFi other than the voice messages I've heard from you. I haven't looked into DeFi Kingdoms.
Okay, baby. So DeFi Kingdoms is has Crypto Seth written all over it. I mean, literally is the reason, because I have the same mindset. I want to find the gems that have 1000x potential before everybody is into it. I mean, that's always been, and as it's crashed and almost died, the project most any team out there would have died after having gone through what they went through with the Harmony Bridge hack, with the false FUD that came against the original founders, Frisky Fox. He founded the project with Dreamer's wife, Pieface. Dreamer at the time was a Goldman Sachs executive. Then Dreamer quit Goldman Sachs to join DFK president, and now he's kind of the face of it. And Dreamer's recently just taken a huge turn when it comes to getting out there, getting ahead of the FUD. So when there's FUD coming against, people are out there still tweeting that DeFi Kingdoms was a rug pull, which is the complete polar opposite of a rug pull, I would say. He's now immediately, you'll see Dreamer out there active, speaking to in real classy way, responding to FUD against the project. He's out there on Twitter Spaces. He's out there on YouTube videos. He's doing this fight, all for DeFi Kingdoms. Now, fundamentally speaking, you won't find a project in crypto that's better. So from the game itself that's being developed, the depths of the game, the code of the NFTs are so we could go literally do a 12-hour long video. Crypto Crow came on the show, and our intention was to do a short video on DeFi Kingdoms. It ended up being 4 hours long, the longest video that Crow ever did.
Wow.
And we still just barely scratched the surface of how in depth it is. Okay, it'll make your head spin. The team does weekly AMAs every Thursday, so we know exactly what's going on as far as the development every single week. A lot of it's even documented. The team's very active in the Discord, so they're approachable. And the game itself, when you look at some of the like gala games that are AAA rated awesome games, such as Champions Arena with great graphics, AAA game, you see the 3v3 PvP style type games with different skill codexes going on. With DeFi Kingdoms, the skill, it's the same essentially with a more nostalgic pixel art. Okay, that's not AAA rated by any means, but the depths of the skill codexes, I would say, are 5x or more that of those big time games. The depth of the tokenomics, the depth of the in-game economy, the crafting that's coming. It's so big brains, the way it all functions. We've seen even different items in the game 50x before. Now, because they've gone through everything they've gone through, they're just now kind of rebounding their team back. They've hired some more people like Christian Peter, who you've probably met. I think you met. He was there in Vegas. He's been at a lot of the different, we've done a lot of videos together. He's a dev and he's a YouTuber, and he's a good marketing guy. And they hired Pervy Sage, my guy, Workhorse, who was a co-founder of one of the largest esport gaming broadcast companies in all of America, Mall of America, called Wisdom Gaming. He had 90 employees. They've hired him on as part of the core team. And so they're doing a lot of the right things. Had a hair in my mouth there. So, and I think the game plan is to hire they're slow moving. Dreamer's been a big part of how things, their approach at first. They hired 50 people like overnight, and they did like a 10,000x. Okay, back in 2021 into 2022, and then the crash has been brutal. It basically came right back down to where it was. And so the upside with it is the tokenomics with Jewel, specifically with Jewel. It's deflationary and it's fully circulating, and there's lots of utility. So when the rubber meets the road, as the game continues to be developed out, as crafting comes, there's lands, there's going to be travel.
It's still in development.
What's that?
It's still constantly developing.
Constantly. Only like 1% of the game is out. The Boar Hunts, which is like a PvE version.
Are you trying to time the release of the project in terms of the developments?
See, I'm so deep into it. And I started my channel just to kind of come to bat for the team and the project, and just to show the vastness of the ecosystem. So, and because when it comes, it just comes and it moons, as we've recently seen. We just saw it go parabolic a few weeks ago. And now we've got George back onto it. George was a big reason for the original pump. And then George got off it because of the news. He was just reporting the news. George was about Frisky Fox. Doesn't look like, Frisky Fox wanted to just, back out and give it to Dreamer. Like he still has PTSD. He went to the ER thinking he had a heart attack. He went from like being on the top of the world to being like a demon.
So what would you say if you had to boil it down to 3 sentences are the most bullish factors about DeFi Kingdoms? Because I haven't checked it out myself, but I'm curious on your thoughts.
The real question is, of all your metrics that you look at it of any crypto project, there's not one thing that's not bullish. Just think of any metric you could imagine: the team, the tokenomics, the utility, the community, the communication, the PR, the depth of the quality. There's nothing bearish about it at all.
Interesting.
There's
Yeah, I'll
not,
definitely have to
and
check it
it's
out at some
better than
point.
anything else in crypto, period. Like, you can't find anything better out there. There's like no downside other than they've been through hell and back. They're beat down, and it's amazing that they survived. It is, any other project would have closed the doors, the hell that they went through. And I could go into more detail if you want.
Go ahead. Yeah, no worries.
So
Maybe just a little bit though, so we could talk about other things.
yeah. So, man, they were on top of the world. They were the highest gaining project in 2021, more than Axie Infinity. They were like numero uno in all of crypto. It was like a 10,000 plus X in just a matter of months, that project. And Frisky Fox was on the top of the world, and he's a good dude, really good dude. Well, then they accused him of, and I could explain the details, but it's too much explanation. They accused him of being a rug pull, which was totally false. I don't even know if he's getting paid at all. He might just be working for free. Actually, Frisky himself. He did for like a year, at least a year. He worked for free after all this happened. And he's such a nice guy, good guy, which your screen is still being shared, by the way.
Yeah, I'm looking for DeFi Kingdoms.
Yeah, there it is. Jewel, you got to be on Coin Market Cap.
I think this is the correct one. Coin, pretty sure Coin Rank utilize Coin Market Cap.
Okay.
I think this is the right one.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty accurate. Now, recently what happened was there is the Harmony, not the Harmony Bridge hack destroyed them, and Luna. Now they've just gone through it again a little bit, but this one didn't really impact the team. It was the Clayton Bridge, which the original Serendale realm is on Clayton blockchain. They use the Orbits bridge, and 3 of the Orbits pegged tokens, Bitcoin, like Orbits wrapped Bitcoin, Orbits wrapped Ethereum, and Orbits wrapped USDT, was in the liquidity on the Clayton chain in Serendale. But we all knew the risk. I had a little bit in there. I didn't have a ton, but I still had a pretty decent amount, just that I had compounded in. So it did hit me a little bit, because I would get some of that Orbits wrapped Bitcoin and put it in the pools and compound it for like a year in Ethereum, but not USDT. So Avalanche was in effect on Clayton, only the Orbits wrapped tokens, but that was kind of it did take a toll a little bit. You still had all the people coming out of the woodwork saying, oh, DeFi Kingdoms again, the bridge hack. You had all those people coming out saying all that. For so many reasons. I could go on for hours.
I can tell. Definitely. You're very passionate about the project.
And I've done it.
But passion in the team is very important.
What's that?
Passion in the team is very important, because ultimately marketing is the main factor that drives adoption.
That's right. So that's true.
Without good marketing, then no one knows the project. You can have the best project in the world, but without marketing, no one will know what it is. So
yes,
passionate people tend to market better.
And so we got Dreamer out there. I don't know if you saw, but DeFi Kingdoms, if you watch the Karate Combat fight on YouTube, you see a DeFi Kingdoms plug twice. That's Dreamer. Yeah, he's doing that all over.
I remember when we were in Vegas on the Karate Combat event, the DeFi Kingdoms sponsorships were all over the boards.
Yeah. You watch it. Yeah. Jewel is definitely in a buy zone. Shout out to GF Burke. If you know this guy, he's a crypto lifer. Crypto lifer, by the way, is a good trader.
Yeah, Crypto Life is a good guy.
Yeah.
When's he getting in the ring though?
Oh,
I
he
remember
was going to.
I remember one time I put out a tweet about doing influencer boxing, and Crypto Life said he would do it, but then he pied my DMs.
Yeah, he
So
totally did. No, we were getting him in. And then
well,
his wife said no. His wife like put her foot down, and so he
wow. Can't
backed
listen to your wife, man. Gotta follow your own words.
out. Yeah, so Playable, we could hit on that. Let me pull up. I did a deep dive research into that for George.
Do you like Playable? Do you not like Playable?
Well, I here's what I will tell you is that the bullish thing about them is that they're marketing guys. They're good at marketing, and that is all it takes to pump.
Mhm.
So I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad play. I'm pulling up what I
Uh,
sent to George on
I'll
that.
tell you my opinions and thoughts on Playable.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, first of all, Avalanche Gaming is going to take off, and there
Yeah.
isn't many good gaming projects built on Avalanche. Now, Playable is also a layer one; they have their own blockchain too, but they also have a token built on Avalanche, so it's considered an
Mhm.
Avalanche Gaming project. So when Avalanche Gaming takes off, there's going to have to be a market mover in this narrative, and the top project is Playable. There really isn't any other top projects in Avalanche Gaming. So just from that alone, it's probably going to go parabolic, and the price action's been phenomenal. And I think it's actually due for a second leg up. So decent accumulation point too. That's the first part. The second part is the team understand crypto. Most cryptos pretend as if the token isn't an investment. You see it on the website, you see the disclaimer. They kind of like hide away to the fact that the token is an investment, despite them having allocation that they're going to sell at the height of the bull market. Playable embrace that. You can see it on their website. They talk about how one of the utilities of the token is an investment. You hold it to make money during the bull market. And ultimately, that's kind of why we're in crypto, to make money. It's the only
Sure.
reason I'm in crypto, at least.
Yeah.
So the fact that they understand the reality of crypto means they're going to be able to operate the project successfully during a cycle. They're going to be able to market the project effectively too. And then thirdly, it's due to the fact that you can operate a node. This is something that people undervalue so much in crypto. If you were around last cycle, the amount of people that regretted not getting a Gala node was
Yeah.
huge. Everyone wanted a Gala node because they were making thousands of dollars a day. Now, what people are doing now is looking for projects where you can operate a node on. It has great tokenomics too, playable. You can operate nodes on. Many people are buying them. I believe one node right now is like 4.5K. At one point, I remember when I was looking at the project early before, a certain person, not going to name his name, in my private community, fudded me out of it. Was like around 1.5K or something, even less. So yeah, I think Playable is going to do very well this cycle for those reasons alone. I think people overestimate certain factors and underestimate certain
Mhm.
factors too. But let's hear your thoughts on it.
Okay, so here's my thoughts is that I agree. My thoughts overall is that it has huge pump potential. So I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for more than anything. And so they're going to pay all the big influencers all over the place in the payable or playable token.
Mhm.
So that right there doesn't mean it won't pump.
Well, can you
Like,
repeat that again?
so they're paying influencers to shill the project
Mhm.
in the playable token. And a decent amount. It's like
Well,
I think
well,
20%.
what you need to understand is 99% of projects have an allocation for marketing. How a project choose to market, it's up to them. Some
Mhm.
people decide to sell those tokens and use it on ads. Some people decide to give them to influencers and influencers show them. But what you need to understand wholeheartedly is, where do people go to when they look for cryptos to invest? Influencers. So where's probably
Sure.
the best place to
That's
put the
the
money
best
into?
place. Yes.
Influencers. Get influence behind your token. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to shill it to the moon and it's going to do
And
very,
then
very
dump
well.
it. It's like the definition though of a pump and dump.
It is, but a cycle is a pump and dump.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. But see, we're comparing all this to Defi Kingdoms. Defi Kingdoms doesn't have any of this, baby. Now it did a little bit at first. Defi Kingdoms did. They were paying
Okay, at
people
least
in
let
Jewel.
Playable do it once then to make it even.
Yeah. So okay. So here was my full assessment. I'll just read it. Okay. It's obvious who's paid by the team and who's just given an honest assessment of the project. when there's so many influencers out there shilling it. So I think it'll have a strong narrative as a game launch pad like Gala and Vulcan Forge. They will get in with all the big names. They're even trying to get in, by the way, with guys like Alex Becker and Neo Tokyo. And if that happens, it's going to pump. Their messaging is solid and have an interesting vision of how to handle the token economics and coin utility. As they build more and more games on their platform over time, they believe that will bring enough demand to combat the heavy inflation. But they openly don't want to have a strong DAO for decentralization. They say they won't be able to get anything done and make quick decisions, which
And that's
isn't
ultimately the
necessarily
truth.
a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. So they have all the control, all the power. And here's what I found: 0 real partnerships. 0. It's pure hype currently. Their only partnerships is with influencers. So long term, it feels very iffy unless they're able to deliver on a pretty massive vision. So it's like they're swinging for the fences. They want to deliver 3 big time games per year. There's a side of it that feels even a bit slimy, a little bit. They've already pumped pretty hard over the last, this was old. Right when several influencers were shilling them hard as the next Gala. So final thoughts: not a bad idea to put a little bit in and ride the wave, maybe. We've missed a big part of the wave, but it doesn't mean it can't still moon. Circulating market cap is around 50 million. It's not something I'd have conviction in. So here's what I found: hardly anyone on the team has any extensive crypto history working in the industry at all. So definitely not a long-term hold. I think it's a problem when teams are trying to pump the coin while using the coin to fund their operations and marketing, using the coin to pay influencers. It ends up being a conflict of interest in the definition of pump and dump. So for me personally, it is something that I'd want to maybe ride a wave, and then, but not like it's like what do they say? You date. It would be maybe a date. I go out on a date with it.
You wouldn't marry it. Yeah,
Wouldn't
look,
marry it.
I understand your points. I do disagree with
Okay.
most of them. For example, in regards to partnerships, it depends how you perceive partnerships, because most partnerships and most cryptos aren't even partnerships.
Sure.
Partnerships which
BS.
provide actual value to the product, meaning they actually assist with something, are real partnerships. Most are actually just marketing partnerships. You get for example, you decide you're partnering for crypto, you both list each other on the website. That's about it. And that's ultimately how 99% of partnerships are in crypto. For example, if someone uses Chainlink as an oracle, they slap Chainlink on the website and act as if it's a Chainlink partner. That's how most cryptos operate. At the end of the day, that doesn't make it do worse or that much better. So I have no issue with them having, as you said, no real proper partnerships. You should only have a partnership if you actually need a partnership. Don't force them. And then also, I don't really have an issue in regards to paying influencers. For example, I've never accepted a single paid promotion in my life, nor will I accept a paid promotion. I don't need the money. But what I will say is marketing is marketing. A project chooses to market how they aim to market. 99% of cryptos have marketing allocations. What does that mean? It means they pay in the tokens. Either the team sell it and use it, or the team give it to influencers and they promote the project. So ultimately, the tokens are being sold regardless, either by the team they're just going to dump it when they want to use it, or either by giving them to influencers who probably won't even sell it. They probably hold it and then shell their bags and then it pumps. Now, at the end of the day, there's factors that are important in cryptos and factors that are unimportant. When you say long term, I'm not sure what you mean, but when I say long term, I'm referring to the bull market, the height of the bull market, the 4-year cycle. So Q4 2025 is when ultimately every single dollar and cent out of this market should be out of this market, in my perspective, if we do still follow the 4-year cycle. Some people believe the ETF may cause us to not follow it, but let's just assume it, because we have no reason to doubt it at the moment, as we're following it perfectly. Now, if that's what you mean by long term, then ultimately there's nothing wrong with Playable. It's going to pump. It's going to do very well. It has the pumpamentals, and that's the most important thing. And they are partnering with esports organizations, because the main idea of Playable is providing a way for people who like to game to earn money. That's the main idea. It's
How
like an
recent?
esports.
How recent is that esport?
How
Part?
recent is the esports partnership?
Yeah,
Playable's been around for a long time. It's not actually a new crypto. They had a migration.
yeah, I know. I know. I did this assessment a few months ago, or a few months ago, and I couldn't find even that. I couldn't find any good, real, tangible, solid partnerships at
But this
all.
is the thing. You have to break down what the partnership is. So a
Right.
partnership with Playable technically provides more value than let's say, a layer one partnership with another blockchain. I'll explain why.
Hmm.
Because at least Playable's partnership is doing what it set out to do. Because they're aiming to provide gamers the ability to make money. Meaning, once they partner that esports organization, they would have onboarded gamers who decide to play the Playable games and earn some money. They
Yeah.
completed the goal, ultimately, of what Playable stands for. Take a partnership which is partnered with another blockchain as marketing, or because they're cross-chain and happen to have a token built on Polygon, they slap a Polygon symbol on. That's not even a partnership. That's not even providing any value. But
Right.
again, there's things that are
Right.
important. And
Yep.
Playable right now, they have tons of social engagement, huge community,
Yes, they
which
do.
means their marketing is doing well, which means they don't even need partnerships. Why do you need partnerships if you're doing well? It's like saying Apple
Well,
needs to partner with
because
someone.
they're trying to develop 3 high-level games per year, which their first one looks good,
Mhm.
but it's like a long shot
But
for it
that's
to
you don't need to
sustain.
partner to do that. You just need to
Now could
hire
it
developers to do that. For
Sure.
example, if I want to build a better
Well,
game,
no, because they're using other gaming they're using for their first game, they used a different gaming team to do it. Um, for
well,
that first game, it's not their game. It's like
well,
being built on their platform, kinda like Gala's
yeah,
situation.
precisely. They're
Yeah.
layer one blockchain that you can build decentralized games
Yep.
on,
You got it.
right?
Yeah.
Meaning there's one team that builds one game, then you're going to get a different set of teams to build a different game. If you're used to building FPS games, you don't get you to build a
Right.
MMORPG.
Right.
There's different games require different developers,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, all that matters is there is development. I don't really care who it is. If there is development, that's going to help. And to
This
be
is
honest,
why
you don't
let's
even
see.
need development as well, because as long as you have one game and that game remains play to earn and people can earn money from the play to earn system, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So this is why I love DeFi Kingdoms, baby. Most of their treasuries in USDC. There's hardly any sell pressure from the team ever on Jewel. There's a little bit of sell pressure on the power tokens because that's how the team generates the revenue is through the power tokens, but it's also a large amount of those power tokens are also being burned. So they're actually deflationary at this point, which even makes the power token, which is the yield generating token that you get in the liquidity pools, yield farming on their decks. And so it's brilliant as far as DeFi goes as well.
But look, I
Mhm.
don't mind teams selling tokens as long as they're selling tokens for a purpose that would benefit us. If you're
Mhm.
selling tokens for marketing and the marketing is successful, I'm not going to blame you.
Yeah.
Then the day that leads to more awareness of the cryptocurrency. As long as a team is operating with the project as its best interest, I don't mind. If they're trying to fill their own bags, that's different.
Right.
And with Playable as an example, at least they're not just selling tokens to fill their own bags. It's for a purpose. So that's okay.
We
And DeFi
hope.
Kingdoms,
I
I'll
mean,
look
that
into
is
it at
how
some
they
point.
pay their own bags too, though.
That's the thing, though. They're not.
Yeah.
You'd be a fool to sell your tokens now. It's impossible for a dev to survive or a team member to survive in a $14 million market cap project by selling tokens.
As long as they deliver. See,
It's not
all the
feasible.
power is in their hands.
It's not feasible.
Yeah.
It
But
isn't.
they've definitely, that's how they make their money, those guys, those marketing guys behind the project.
Well, they make their money during the bull market. At the end of the day, you decide to create a project on the blockchain. That's why team allocation exists in the first place. You need to be
Mhm.
rewarded for your efforts. And most projects will sell the height
Sure.
of the bull market.
Mhm.
Anyone selling tokens now is a fool. At the end of the day, there's much, much, much more volume to come into crypto. We're before the halving. We're pre-halving. There has never been a high of a bull market pre-halving. It makes no sense to even say that.
Right.
Once we get post-halving, we're later on in the cycle, we're going to see these projects going parabolic. If a dev sells tokens now, they're just an idiot. They'll wish they didn't. And that's why most don't. Most hold. And the funny thing is, most hold too long too.
Yeah, that's right. But I think they have been selling some of the tokens even now.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. Every
Yeah.
project sells tokens
Yeah.
for a
Sure.
purpose. It's okay.
And it is okay because that's like, but they get, you know, it's a lot. It's not horrible. It's not terrible. The tokenomics are not terrible.
Yeah, the playable
No.
tokenomics are pretty decent. As
Yeah.
far as gaming goes, gaming by and large doesn't have the best tokenomics because at the end of the day, if you have a play to earn system, you can't have a you need a more prolonged vesting schedule, token release. Because if the game basically ends in a year because you have no more tokens, and it's not a good project, is it? Like a one-hit wonder. You want longevity.
See, you're telling you just asked me the question. Gaming typically doesn't have good tokenomics. Well, look, dude, on DeFi Kingdoms. It's the best tokenomics in all of crypto. It doesn't get any better, baby.
Nakamoto games are some of the best tokenomics as well. Deflationary
Nothing
tokens.
in all of crypto, let alone games, nothing in all of crypto is better than DFK.
I wouldn't take it that far, but I'll check it out.
I
I
mean,
never looked into it.
how could explain to me what's the project with the best tokenomics you can think of?
Trias, probably.
Okay. Why is that?
Most of the tokens are in circulation. The strong token utility based. Actually, you know what? I'll give you a better one. AI Tech.
Okay.
AI Tech probably has the best.
We're going to
tokenomics.
get into AI tokens here in a second. Yeah.
I think AI Tech probably has some of the best tokenomics because every single mechanism that they provide, every single service they provide, requires the AI Tech token. And the AI Tech token is also deflationary. So for every single transaction, 10 to 15% gets burnt all the way down to 1 billion tokens. So that's probably has some of the best tokenomics in crypto. And the best part about it is the service solves a real issue and is actually needed and is being adopted.
Okay. I'm writing this one down.
AI Tech. It's
I'm gonna
a
be
solid project.
AI Tech. Okay.
Someone
I'm going
said
to search for
Dubs
that
in the
one
chat.
second.
Dubs very good as well.
Okay.
Very good
So
project.
here's DeFi Kingdoms tokenomics. Fully circulating. Fully emitted. Now, Coin Market Cap won't say that. I'll explain why. It's fully emitted. Joule. 125 million maximum supply, of which over 3 million is burned and deflationary. 50% of all the gas fees are burned. The other 50% goes to the validators. Okay. Heavy utility to the tune of 40 million of those tokens are locked up for the purpose of in-game power-ups. And the utility is only growing. So anybody that wants to get in and play the game, you're incentivized. Not only is it the gas fee, it's an Avalanche subnet, the DFK chain, that's often done over 3 million and even over 4 million transactions in one day. Okay, on their chain. Fully circulating, fully emitted, and thousands being locked up in the jeweler for in-game power-ups, baby. And everyone dumped it because they thought it was a rug pull. And it's about to be adopted by the masses again. We got Crypto Crow talking about it. We got Dreamer out there repping it. We got George talking about it. And it's just the beginning. The game and the fundamentals behind it, as it continues to come out and be released, is things like crafting and but there's already duels, boar hunts, so many different things you can do in the game. And then we can even go over the power token, which is Jade and Crystal right there that you're looking at, and how I'm even bullish on those because of the burning. And I could even tell you how the team, they sell, the only time they sell Jade or Crystal is when it's a 0.06 price impact once every 6 hours is the most they can sell. They recently haven't been selling much of the Jade, especially because it's so down. But the Jade is being burned. 25% of it is burned. It's like 10,000, tens of thousands are being burned every week, maybe hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely a complex token economy. Definitely requires more research into to understand.
Yeah.
There isn't a
Like,
clear token allocation, like breakdown.
yeah. So with Jewel, and I'll tell you with Jade and Crystal as well. With Jewel, 125 million total supply. It used to be 500 million. And I kind of explained that to you already because Jewel was the power token. Jewel's no longer the power token. The power token, so Jewel 500 million, because it's a cross-chain game. So that was split between Crystal and Jade. 250 million supplied to Crystal, 250 million supplied to Jade. Jewel is 125 million total max supply, fully circulated, fully emitted. Over 3 million of that is burned, and like around 1,000 plus Jewel every day is burned from all the transactions on the chain. And 40 million plus Jewel is locked up in the jeweler gaining interest. How does it gain interest? The power tokens are Crystal and Jade. That's how the team generates revenue. Those have traditionally been inflationary. You know, they're more just utility for the game, not a good investment. And I would maybe still say that. I would still say Jade and Crystal are not good investments compared to Jewel. But it's a lot better now. So as you summon heroes, as you play the game, as you level up the heroes, do different things in the game, you have to use Jade on the Clayton blockchain, Crystal on the DFK chain. Those are the power tokens for the two different blockchains. As you use them in the game, 15% of those are auto sold into Jewel. So it's auto pumping Jewel, and that's what supplies the jeweler. So you're earning interest by staking your Jewel in the jeweler, even though it's not technically staking. You put your Jewel in the jeweler to gain interest and for the in-game power-ups, which are continuously, the number of power-ups in the game keep growing. So the incentive to have the Jewel, not only is it the gas fee for the chain, and also, you know, other third-party games can come on and develop. They already have developed games on the DFK chain
And utilize Jewel as the gas.
Yes. So
Interesting.
Jewel's your play. So hopefully here's another thing that's in the works.
I'll definitely look into it at some point to get
Yeah.
a deeper insight on it.
In the
Definitely.
works. Dreamer's working on getting it listed on more exchanges. He's
That's
so
good.
hesitant with the regulatory front of it.
It's important.
Oh my
If people
God.
can't buy your token, then how's it going to pump?
Right. They have to bridge it in or send Clayton in on the Clayton blockchain and do it there. It's probably the easiest. You can just buy Clay token. But now it's on this new, they did list it on their first exchange called, and I had never heard of it previously, called Coin Store. If you've ever heard of that one, it's easy.
Coin store.
Coin Store. There was no, I didn't have to, there's no KYC. You can just boom. It's similar to Mexi, and it's legal in the United States with no KYC.
Very
so,
good.
but I know they're working on things like Mexi and other foreign exchanges that aren't based out of the United States. He's so nervous about he's Goldman Sachs executive, right? So he's like, didn't want to touch any of the regulatory stuff with a 10-foot pole. That's why there's not more.
You have to be mindful of regulations because a lot of cryptos have fallen under because of regulations. So
yeah,
but you have to be fast acting too because crypto is a fast acting environment, very dynamic. So you have to make decisions quick.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Very true.
And so they've gotten better with their biggest weakness. I've always said was their messaging and communication, their PR, marketing. Okay. And that has done the 180. So Dreamer never was ever on Twitter, never was doing anything as far as marketing stuff. He was behind the scenes making deals and partnerships. He said he was working 80 or 90 hours a week. Still, we didn't see that much though. So there wasn't like a Scott with WagMe Games who's all over the place, right? And you see with some of these other projects. Well, now Dreamer's brother, who's a PhD psychologist, who's also on the team, has taken on more responsibility with working a lot of those behind the scenes deals, partnerships, such as Karate Combat. Right now in the game, you can buy a karate gi that's like a skin for your heroes. They call them visages.
Really?
Yeah, and 10% of that goes to karate. Soon, there's going to be a Crypto Crow visage. There's going to be a Crypto Grady visage. There's going to be a George visage in the game.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Getting like influencers in your game will definitely help a promotion.
Ooh, and the influencers even have incentive to shill it because they make 10% of the sales. So it's like
decent. It's decent.
Yeah. So tell me, AI tech, is this an AI play?
So AI tech is an AI play. Yes, it's a very good AI coin in my perspective. It's lower market cap at the moment. I believe it's around $8 million in market cap. So basically, the issue that they aim to solve is the fact that in Europe, there's a lack of high performance computing data centers. And due to this ever growing demand for computing power due to AI and just the technological age we live in,
yeah,
Europe is essentially forced to utilize data centers in other continents, in North America, in Asia, which is much, much more costly. Even to the degree that it costs 10 times more for institutions, engineers, individuals, just in general, that want to adopt high performance computing power for their needs. So what AI tech are doing is building a high performance computing data center in Europe, specifically in Romania and Bucharest. And they're utilizing the AI tech token for all the mechanisms around the project. Now, that's what they aim to do in the most simplest form.
Is it the SOLIDUS?
Solidus AI Tech, yes.
That's it. Okay.
Yes, Solidus AI Tech. And then they also offer AI as a service, infrastructure as a service, even blockchain as a service. So they aim to provide, for example, different AI systems for institutions, for governments, for many different use cases, self-driving cars, for medical, loads. And they're already partnered with Microsoft, and they're partnered with governments as well in Europe to do this all. And the best part about it is this is all powered by the AI tech token, which is deflationary, as we mentioned before. So for every single transaction, 10 to 15% is burned. But also, another thing, they're a launchpad too, right? Not just for IDOs, also for private sales and seed sales. I mean, you can get in a much lower price in regards to the token launches that they offer. So in my opinion, it's a very solid AI project. They should do very well this cycle.
It's on the Binance Smart Chain.
Yep. It's built on the Binance Smart Chain, but it's actually cross-chain. So
okay. So I'm looking to buy some up right now. It's on Mexi.
Yes, it's on Mexi.
Pancake Swap. Awesome. Okay. So one of the things I was talking about earlier was AI plays were actually, it was the #1 most trending search for CoinGecko in 2023.
Oh yeah. I made a lot of money in AI. I made a 55x on Viot, which is an AI assistant. I made a 12x on Singularity Net, which is an AI marketplace.
Yeah.
I made a 30x on Demetra, which was an AI medical, no, not medical. It was an AI decentralized agriculture cryptocurrency, which aims to provide technology to farmers around the world. So yeah, AI has done very, very well for me, this year or last year now.
Nice. So, okay. So what do you think of Cosmos Akash? What do you think of that one?
Akash?
Yeah.
Akash network. Yeah, it's a computing platform. It's okay. I would say they're trying to compete with the likes of Render. Many people believe that Akash network's going to flip Render. I don't like the fact that it's inflationary, although they do offer staking, which would negate the inflation that they have. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
you are better off of going with Render because Render is one of the top performing cryptos of 2023. It's considered in the AI narrative. It's also considered in the metaverse narrative. So there's two different narratives that could lead to its pump.
Yeah.
Also, there's Apple affiliation. Just affiliation of Apple alone is going to cause a significant pump. But in my perspective, it's not even worth to have Render or Akash. I prefer
Yeah.
projects such as
So,
Dynex and Chlori, which are much lower in market cap.
yeah. So hit spiel that. Give your spiel, because so what Seth specializes in is tokens that have 100x plus upside, right?
Yeah, I focus on low cap gems in general.
Yeah.
Projects which have the potential to be the next big thing, not crap coins. I have never touched a meme coin in my life. I've been in crypto for 7 years. I've never invested into any meme coin.
Mm-hmm.
I focus on low cap gems or utility. For example, the next Solanas, the next anything. Yeah.
Nice. So, and you have a paid people. How many people do you have signed up paying you to be a part of your group?
So I do have a private community, which I've
Uh-huh.
had for around a year plus now. I think I don't know exactly, but probably around like 400, 500 members, something like that.
Wow, dude. And the man is 19 years old. So you obviously have to give that type of value to the community for them to continue paying you, right?
Well, yeah, obviously, no one's going to pay money for no reason.
You got to be and to continue to build that, to build your paid community up over 500 people paying
Look,
you.
what you need to understand, Grady, is this is actually small in the grand scheme of things.
Sure.
There are people out there of communities of thousands of people.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I'm actually going to cap my community probably very, very soon. I don't want it to be unmanageable.
Right.
The point of a private community is to provide value. And once too many people get into the community, the value starts to slip because there's too many people in the group. You can't answer every single question.
Yep.
It's
You
hard
can't
to
keep up
research
with it.
projects. It's hard to research projects, so there's too many people in the group. So there is definitely going to be a capping of the number of people in my group very, very soon. So
Yeah, and my point is you've had to add enough value to your group to keep them there. So the
there's people that have
value,
been to me for a year plus now, over a year, almost not 2 years, but like a year, and almost like a year and a half now
the
since the beginning.
value is obviously there.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, so that speaks volumes to me. Okay. And the fact that you've been able to pull that off, like, damn, is impressive, my man.
The funny thing is, I've made more money from crypto than I ever have from my private community. Because at the end of the day, the crypto is where the money is made. You know, $60 here and there, it adds up, but not really. The money is made through crypto. The people that invest into the tokens that I find is where the real money is made.
Right.
And that's the beauty of crypto, because instead of trying to go through it alone, join a community. Join my community, join Grady's community, join anyone's community. And guess what? You won't go through crypto alone. You'll go through crypto people that know what they're talking about, that have done it all before. And ultimately, that's how you make it in crypto. You think you have time to research every single project? You have time to check every single gem? You don't.
You don't. That's right. Dude. So to answer this question, so what do I believe is the absolute upside for DeFi Kingdoms? My market cap, it's at 30 million right now. Okay, so there's other games out there like Shrapnel, Big Time, Atlas. Hard to see the upside, in my opinion. Here's what I would say the upside is for DeFi Kingdoms. And this is what we've been saying over the last year, even when Jewel was at 10 cents and below 10 cents. We are saying the upside is $100 Jewel. And even has potential in this decade, if we're talking the next bull run, to hit over $1,000 per Jewel. Because here's why. So it's not AAA rated, but it's bigger brains. The game, any big guru gamer, like esport level of gaming, is what DeFi Kingdoms will be. It'll be an esport level game.
Yeah.
And there's, oh my gosh, yes. So that's why they got Pervy Sage in there with Hubert Cumberdale, some of the biggest brain guys you'll meet in the industry.
Yeah, look, the crypto is huge. There's space for everything. There is space for DeFi Kingdoms. There's space for
Yeah.
everything. At the end of the day, there's going to be a huge inflow of capital or money flow this cycle, potentially even 2 to 4x, right? So we saw the top gaming coin go to 12 billion market cap last cycle, which is Axie Infinity. This cycle, potentially, we could see more coins go upwards of 10 billion. So there's definitely space for many cryptos to do very well. But yeah, AI tech is only one AI project. There's many other great AI projects in crypto. So many.
I love it, man.
I'd really say there's three main ones: Tau, Solidus, and Delicium, AGI.
Oh, okay.
I think all the rest are like somewhat fake AI projects or just
Okay.
not good ones.
Let me write these down. I'm writing them down, baby. Okay. So say that again.
Tau, Bit and Soul Tau, Solidus AI Tech, and Delicium AGI. And the best part about Delicium is it's not just an AI project. So even if the AI element doesn't take off, it's also a gaming project. So the gaming element of it will definitely take off.
Okay. Yeah. One thing that's interesting with Akash or Akash is that it's like a bard. It's got already an active bard that you can use. It's got AI actually active, which I didn't know. It's brand new. They did it last month. It's it's like 3 weeks old. So that's interesting. I don't know how that ties in with the token, but it's fully decentralized AI, essentially, is what they're
Fully decentralized AI. You're talking about, well, there's many
Akash.
projects. The thing
Let me
is, I
show
don't
you.
really perceive Akash as an AI project because the fundamental idea is just providing computing power. It's like Flux in a way. It's like people mine or validate transactions by staking the token if it's proof of stake. And then that power is essentially, for example, Dynex through proof of useful work is utilized for whatever people want to utilize it for. I don't really perceive them as AI. I feel like you slap in AI as a tagline. They're not as strong as, this is the way I perceive AI. Two ways. If I remove AI from your project, does your project still exist?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. I agree.
If you remove AI from a cache still exists.
So this is Akash right here. Easy. This is it's like a bard or a chat GBT. Easily chat with Mistral-7B, an open source LLM hosted on, I don't know what this means, NVIDIA A100s on the Akash
but look, Grady, what you need to realize is no one is going to use that. Everyone's going to use ChatGPT and then just integrate ChatGPT through APIs, etc. You know, when people try and create different forms of chatbots, I just find them. It's like, for example, what you find is this.
Yeah.
Take a project called GraphLink Protocol.
Okay.
The main idea behind GraphLink Protocol is it's a project that aims to allow you to develop through a no-code protocol. It's a Web3 development platform. You can use like drag and drops to develop. They are now considered AI. Why? Because they added an AI chatbot. And many projects are doing this. They create an AI chatbot and then suddenly they're an AI project. When fundamentally, they're not even an AI project. Fundamentally, they're not. You remove AI and the project's fine. Nothing's really changed. And that's how I perceive a lot of these cryptocurrencies now that consider themselves AI. It's like, no, you're not. You have an AI chatbot. You just slapped AI on the website and you're trying to get pumped up by the AI trend. How AI really are you? You know? But yeah, someone in the chat's talking about a great project called Chlor AI. That's one that should do very well.
Yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a newer version of Render because they're not necessarily the same. You could argue Dynex is a newer version of Render, but like Chlor, it's a phenomenal project. They have a GPU marketplace. It's proof of work. You can mine. And they have something called proof of holding. And the great part about proof of holding is it incentivizes adoption of their GPU marketplace because what it essentially says is the more tokens that you hold of Chlor, the more rewards you'll earn for the GPU that you list on our marketplace. And the reason that's great is because there's many GPU marketplaces in crypto. Dynex are developing one, Octaspace is one, BlockX is another. But the difference is Claw has incentive. Hold more of our tokens and you'll earn more money. What better argument could you make than that?
Okay, I just wrote it down. What? And so this is GF Burke, by the way, who's really tight with Crypto Lifer. Okay, he's in his group. He also mentioned this one. Is this one good? Neural, Neurai. Have you heard of that one? He
Say
said
it again.
it's already 20x. Neurai.
Oh, Neuro AI.
Okay.
I think I've heard of this one. He's talking about XNA, I believe.
Okay.
Or maybe he's not talking about that. Let me just double check.
Okay. So GF Berg, man, shout out to this guy. He also said, so Seth job is what my job is in our Discord. I'll bet karate on you now. Let's go.
Yeah. XNA is very good. XNA deals with more IoT devices.
Okay.
I think it has its place. Look, most of these proof of work coins are going to do very well due to the backing of miners. Miners are going to make sure these coins do well, especially if they're lucrative. If they're lucrative, then miners will push a cryptocurrency because they want to make more money, of course. So if the rewards are lucrative, they should do very well. And they have a unique selling point being AI, but they're mostly IoT devices. It's okay. It's decent. It should do well.
Okay. Interesting. And so we have a question here. Where to go? AGI. GF Burke asked that, and so did Fatima. AGI.
Oh, AGI, that's Delicium. That's the one I mentioned before.
Okay.
Yeah, phenomenal project. They have a partnership with Microsoft as well. But again, it's like Microsoft startup. It's this idea of partnerships in crypto. Perception is reality, is what I say.
Okay.
Yeah, Delicium's a phenomenal project. They have AI integration of AI twins. I could literally make a version of myself to answer questions in my Telegram or Discord group through AI.
Okay.
You could do that if you wanted to. I could do that and then just quit crypto.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and they also have a game as well called Delicium, which is very big. It's on the Epic Game Store. Many people actually know about Delicium. So yeah, there's many elements. AGI is a phenomenal project.
Okay. So is Render actually an AI project? I thought that was one of the bullshit AI projects.
See, look, yeah, this is my point. I don't consider Render. I have the narrative called GPU/computing or GPU computing, cloud computing. It's a separate narrative. I consider it that because it's the fundamental idea is we provide computing power for a specific use case. That is the fundamental idea behind the project. We mine or through their proof of work or proof of use of work consensus mechanism and provide computing power for, let's say, render. It's the metaverse. Rendering. It's like rendering images, videos. It's for the metaverse, right? Whereas something like Dynex, right, their proof of use will work as well. We provide our computing power, but that's a more AI, predictive analysis.
Okay.
It's different things. So you can use Render for AI. So I'm not going to say it's not an AI project. And one of the main use cases of computing power today is for AI. So then technically it is AI.
Yeah.
But again, you could remove AI and it still exist. But also, the reason I consider Render AI is because it pumps when AI coins pump. Therefore,
right. Okay.
It doesn't matter what I believe.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what people in the chat believe. If it pumps during AI, it's AI.
Okay. So tell me if this is an accurate description of Render. Render is not an AI project per se. Instead, it's a cloud rendering service for 3D graphics and computer-generated imagery, allows users to render images, videos, and animations on the cloud without needing extensive hardware. The company uses machine learning algorithms to optimize rendering performance based on your input and settings, but thus this is not equivalent to an AI project as there is no general intelligence capabilities involved. Render aims to provide scalable, efficient solution for artists, engineers, architects, and other professions who require high-quality 3D visualizations without the need to manage complex infrastructure or software themselves. Is that spot on?
I would say it's reasonable to what Render is.
So that's from the Akash. So, okay, I'm going to ask this. Is Akash, I got the Akash chat going here, which
Go
is
and ask Akash if it's an AI project.
yeah, is Akash an AI project?
I bet it's biased that it gives certain answers.
It's interesting. It might not be.
For the guy in the chat, it's proof of useful work, not proof of use of work. Proof of useful work.
Okay. Okay, that's Zabu, baby. Zabu in the house. Akash is not an AI project by nature. Instead, it's a decentralized cloud computing platform designed for developing and managing secure, private, interoperable applications at scale with a focus on data privacy.
Like realistically, Flux is better than Akash. I'll tell you why. It's just because they have more node operators.
Okay, so here's a little
controversial
alpha
statement. I'm joking.
Flux and Akash are talking to each other about working together. There's a little alpha.
Yeah, look, the thing is of all of these is I don't really care about them because they're too high market cap for me. You know, they can do very well this cycle, but I'm into more the low caps.
Yeah.
Core AI is going to make us a lot of money. Dynex is going to make us a lot of money. They're much lower in market cap. They have better fundamentals, in my opinion. And they have better pumpermentals, which is even more important than fundamentals. So,
okay. Well, yeah, AI needs massive amounts of computing power. So, yeah, distributed computing is the affordable solution to massive cost of a company buying, operating its own computing power. Hey, there it is. GF Burke, he's calling you a youngling, Seth, but he's betting on you. He said this youngling knows. Like this youngling knows his SHIT, basically. I love it, man. Hey, here's Dabatola, baby. Think you'll be surprised with Flux coming up. So Dabatola works with Flux. Dabatola works for George. So you met him, Scott.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, ultimately, I'm here for one reason in crypto, to make my community money and to make me money. And Flux is a very good project. I say to people, look, if you want to operate a node anywhere, go to Flux. But at the end of the day, Flux isn't going to make me 1000x. So I'm not going to be all tribal. I'm not going to have biases. I'm here to make money. So
here to make money right here. That's what he's saying. He just echoed your sentiment. Right on, man. Well, man, this stream's been going for over 2 hours, which it feels like I blinked. I sat there, blinked. I love it. I love getting your hot takes, man.
Hey, no worries. Anytime.
Great freaking takes, by the way. It's so fun.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I love hearing different sides on different things.
Yeah, I think it's good to talk to people to get different perspectives on things, or else you end up in an echo chamber of the same things over and over again.
Right.
It's good to get different perspectives. So why don't you tell me, how badly are you gonna beat or win your fight?
Ooh, baby. It was so funny because everybody was giving me strategy, you know, including yourself, which was good strategy. And in my mind, here's what I was thinking. I'm just gonna go in there and knock him out.
You're gonna go in there and knock him out.
That's simple. I'm just gonna go in and knock him out.
A hook, a cross, maybe a jab alone is enough.
Just the jab. But yeah, it might be a hook or a cross though. I'm so sore yesterday. I went and did a whole bunch of boxing, and I'm like, I killed myself. I was just a ball of sweat.
Yeah, I've been home in England for the holidays, so I haven't been training for around 2 weeks now. I need to get back to Dubai. I'll be there soon, and once I'm back, I'm gonna be training again. So yeah,
I love it, man. Yeah, I'm going again tomorrow. I'm super sore today.
It's good.
Yeah, working on staying. I was like, I want my blood on the mat. Like as I was sparring with the guys, I was trying to take some good hits, stay in the pocket, focusing on that, and just pop. Yeah.
I think if you close the distance, then that's how you win the fight.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely how you win the fight.
But it's like, you know, managing my cardio, because my cardio is so bad. It still is. even though it's so much better than it was. But I couldn't do a third of what the other people were doing in class yesterday.
Mhm.
My shirt was completely soaked in sweat and I was like dying. My cardio. And so I don't relax. I'm so intense when I'm in there and I want to take the hit
Mhm.
and then I would just go in there and spar some of the best guys in the gym.
Have you been sparring?
Yeah.
That's good.
And
That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
taking hits and then
Have you
just
been given hits?
oh yeah.
Have you been winning? You don't really win or lose
See,
spars, but would
that's
you
what's
say
hard. It's like you're
do you
not
have the
going
edge?
all out when you're
Yeah.
sparring, even with boxing gloves, even though I was telling them to do that to me. And so they started picking it up a little bit.
What
I'm
about
still,
kicks?
I'm,
I think most of everyone's fights is just gonna be like a boxing match, to be honest.
yeah. So I'm not even touching. I still have the pulled hamstring. I mean, I still feel it. So I don't even want to come close to retweaking it. So I'm not even going there. I'm hardly even stretching it yet
You're hardly even stretching it.
because, they said if you even stretch too early and before it
Really?
heals, you can make it worse. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I didn't confirm that with an expert or anything. Um,
Hmm. I don't know about that one, but what I would say is definitely try and get it sorted because you never know. What if he just starts doing loads of kicks? It'd be kind of funny, but like,
hey, I don't care.
mm,
I'm the guys I'm sparring, I tell them to kick.
really?
Oh yeah.
So
But they don't.
have you been able to close the distance even when they kick?
Oh man, yeah, easy. In fact, I like it when they kick because I just knock them out. I'll just
You just knock him
it's
out. Fair
harder
enough.
when it's just boxing.
Understandable. Understandable. Just
Yeah.
knock him out. That's
So
crazy.
I don't know. See, that's why I kind of like karate combat is there isn't much ground game. I'm not a wrestler, but I'm strong enough to have a good ground
Definitely.
game. I'm just not
Definitely.
experienced with it. And that's a whole different skill set to learn in a short time. So I'm glad there's not much ground game. I know I can throw a hard jab and a good uppercut and a good hook.
That's good. I could sense it. You got the power. When I met you, I knew the power
Yeah,
within
baby.
you.
Pop. Let's go, baby. Ah,
All the power. One
yeah,
punch knockout. First round knockout.
yeah. Just a pop,
I can
baby.
imagine.
Let's go. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'm delusional and he knocks my ass out. He's definitely confident.
Isn't he like 2-0 in boxing or something?
Yep. 2-0, but see, his cardio was bad too. He was
Oh,
like
yeah.
puttered out.
Didn't he gas out at the first round or something in his
Yeah.
fight?
Yeah. Now I'll be the same way. Mine's not going to be any better. So I've been like rowing, biking, stuff like that, just while I'm letting my hamstring heal,
Mhm.
you know. But man, it's not the same. Like you said, it's not the same. Sparring is far more like, holy, I realized all the more yesterday. It's like
Tiring.
I can row and do stuff all day long, but sparring is a different level of,
Yeah. It's because it's very high intensity.
yeah,
You have to be hyper aware all the time when you're sparring, or else you're
that's
gonna get
right.
clipped.
That's
You're very
right.
focused, and people tend to not breathe. The breathing goes out the window when you spar all the time.
Same. And
Yeah, you need
I'm
to
the
work on
worst.
breathing.
And it's kind of on purpose because I can take a punch, but a lot of times people get knocked out is when they're taking a breath. So it's
Mm,
like, I don't know. I still don't. My coach is all about working on the breathing, working on all that stuff.
mhm.
And I probably should, and I'm going to need to. But it's like when I'm in the pocket, I want to be clenched and ready to take a hit and deliver the hit right back 5 times over.
Yeah,
Just even a
100%.
pop, 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 pop. Just hard.
DCA your breathing, someone said.
Yeah, there's Eric. I love it. So everybody, Crypto Seth is a prodigy. He's a gem. He's right at the top in the description below. Make sure you sub to this man's channel. I would even strongly consider paying the man the money to get his alpha because it is that quality. It's that good. I've thought about it myself, to be honest. I actually have considered that, Seth. It's that impressive to me.
Yeah, look, you can watch the YouTube, join the community. It's up to you guys. Do whatever you feel like you want to do.
But at the very least, subscribing to his YouTube channel and watching his videos is well worth your time, because what we've done here, even in the stream, we've hit on low cap gems. And very rarely, do you have any calls that haven't taken off in months? Like, did you call something 8 months ago that was a bust?
Not that it's a bust, but it just didn't pump initially. For example, I was making videos on Tectum at $3.
Right.
It didn't pump for ages.
Okay.
And everyone on YouTube made a video. If you go onto my video on YouTube,
yeah,
Tectum was at around $3. You could have got in, but you didn't. You faded.
Yeah, that's the whole point, is to get in
it pumped like
before
a few
it
months
pumps.
later. It's like, it's not. We don't do pump and dumps. Tectum didn't pump for like 2 months. So you had 2 months to get into the project. It's not like crap coins you pump and dump like a lot of YouTubers do.
Right. You get in projects for the long haul. And when we say long haul, you're saying through the bull run.
Yep.
You know, projects that are good to get into, fundamentally speaking, from the long haul, even though you don't care. You just care if it pumps ultimately, right? That's kind of you're pretty open and honest to say that.
I'm here to make money. I invest into quality projects that I believe can provide real value to the world, because I know those will do the best long term.
There you go.
So yeah, it's like a ethical way, but at the same time, I understand that we can't lie to ourselves. The goal of us being crypto is to make money. If you remove the exponential returns in crypto, how many of us would stay? None of us, realistically.
Right. That's true. My only pushback to that would be, I am in it for the tech in the future and the vision of it, but ultimately we're all in it to make money.
But like, if you're, that's the thing though, because if we were in it for the tech, why aren't we studying computer science? You know, why aren't we becoming developers? Because we're not here for the tech. We're here for the money. You remove the money, then we wouldn't be all here wasting our time. You know, we wouldn't be all here making videos. We wouldn't be talking about gaming projects. Imagine a guy who's talking about gaming projects if the money wasn't here, technically.
Yeah. Like here's the example I could give you on that, on the argument. Growing up, I loved to play basketball. Now, I was playing basketball night and day, night and day, night and day, night and day, shooting more shots than anybody in the history of planet Earth through through age 16. Okay. But ultimately, I was in it to be a baller in high school and to play college basketball and be like Michael Jordan. But I still did it because I loved it. I loved the game. So now some people do it just to win. It's all about winning. It's not, they don't even necessarily love the game. I play basketball because I love the game, but ultimately it's the same thing. Yeah, I wanted to win. I wanted to play the pros. You take that out, no chance of having to potentially play in college basketball, then yeah, I probably wouldn't have done it. But it was a passion to play basketball. That's kind of how, like, I'm in it for more than just the gains. It's not just about the gains for me, although ultimately it's all about the gains, if you're honest. That's kind of what you're saying.
Deep down, honestly, remove the potentials to make hundreds of X's, thousands of X's. Very, very, very little of us would be here. Just the computer scientists would, or the people who are doing illegal acts would.
Right on.
So yeah, ultimately.
Right on. So it looks like this ETF is going to be pushed through Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. What do you think?
I'm not too bothered what happens with the ETF. I don't believe it's priced in, but what I will say is ultimately, I don't think there's going to be a significant retracement on my altcoins because they're very fundamentally strong.
Right.
Projects which aren't will probably end up dipping significant amounts, but I'm not worried. I'm not really worried. Nor am I bothered. I don't trade Bitcoin either, so.
Yeah. And for Burke. Burke has been pushing Caspa for months. By the way, you're a big Caspa bull, right?
Oh, Caspa's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So Caspa, Sin City Crypto put out an awesome video today. If you're a member, I guess you got to be a member, which I am for them, just because, getting to know them and stuff. I'm a member of some people, which you can only become a member on the computer, which is annoying. I wish I could do it on my phone. But anyways, the Caspa founder developer was early developer in Bitcoin and was like Vitalik Buterin's right-hand man developing Ethereum. Did you know that?
I did know that part. That part sounds fabricated. I know he was cited in Cardano's white paper. I believe he was cited in Ethereum's white paper too. I don't know about working a Bitcoin. That just seems like some of the Casper Maxis are like shilling to.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean. They broke it down today. Sin City Crypto did a dedicated video just on Caspa.
That's good.
And so,
yeah, Casper's block DAG technology will ultimately do well this cycle. Casper, even Terax equipment, they're all going to do very well. Casper's the top block DAG in crypto. It's arguably better than a regular blockchain. Just think of it this way: a blockchain is just a linked list, one after the other. Think of a block DAG as a graph. You can already see how it's more scalable when everything's connected to each other. So it's going to be faster, more scalable. Anyways, I think ultimately it's going to do very well. I'm very bullish on Casper.
I love
Casper, Injective, and Tau, best high caps in crypto.
Yeah. And so how much upside do you think it still has?
It really depends what happens. It's like an argument. Are we going to see more cryptos? For example, are we going to see projects like Solana, Cardano go past what they did last cycle? Are they going to go to like 200 billion in market cap this cycle, 300 billion? If so, then it is possible that Casper goes to 100 billion. I wouldn't say it isn't. But if we don't see that happen and we see them go to 100 billion, again, not really break their all-time highs, still make substantial returns because they're down significantly. I would say there's a less convincing argument that it could go that high. Maybe could go to where Polkadot went to last cycle, which was 60 billion. It's possible. I'm not really sure. I'm expecting conservatively like a 10x from Casper.
Okay.
Well, so that's what I'm expecting. 10x.
Yeah. And you've been in this whole time in you were in early on Caspa, right?
I wasn't in early on Casper. No, I was in other projects. Okay. I was in Injective instead of Casper.
Okay, I knew that.
I made a 40x on Injective. I'm not really bothered about missing Casper.
Yeah. So. Yep. Man, I love it. So Caspa is not necessarily. Caspa would be like for you, sort of like a Bitcoin to put profit into.
I perceive Casper as like a lower risk investment in crypto terms. Obviously, if we're talking about real world terms, then it's like a shit coin basically. But in crypto terms, I perceive Casper as like low risk high cap.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like something you might put profits into instead of USDC or something.
Yeah, instead of buying Bitcoin to make a 2 to 4x, I'd buy Casper instead.
Yeah. Okay. Are you trading do you ever do any leverage Bitcoin trade leading up to this event? Do you do things like that at all?
Leverage Bitcoin trades? No.
Like a 5x leverage or something?
It's not worth it. I make more money on the coins I invest into. There's no need to do it. Because at the end of the day, it's all about risk management with trading. So even though someone can make like a technical 5x, how much of their portfolio are they risking to make that 5x? It's a very, very, very small amount. Very small amount compared to investing into low cap gems long term. 5x's, 2x's, 3x's, 4x's, 5x's. Like, I don't think I'm not up 2x on a pick.
No, really? So, you're not up at the minimum is 2x on all of your picks, all of them?
Every single project. Yeah, every single project I'm up to at least 2x on. So
the worst project that you've called is 2x so far. That's just so far.
It's more than a 2x actually. There's only one that's done like a 2x. All the rest have done way more than a 2x. But the point is, I'm a long-term investor. I'm not here for 2x's. I'd be an idiot to sell at a 2x. I'm here for hundreds of x's.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I love it. So do you have like a research team? Do you hire a team to help you?
I don't have a team in terms of
Mhm.
hiring a team, but I have some people that I do research with, competent people. But like,
Yeah.
we just find projects, we talk about them, we review them, we deep dive into them. If they're good, they're good. If they're not good, they're not good. Yeah, we find
Okay.
gems. We're gem hunters. It's a very hard skill to acquire, I'd say.
It is to actually, um, because you got to look at the right things.
True.
A lot of the projects that won't do much and maybe end up dying,
True.
it's not that they're a bad project or have a bad team or have bad intentions.
True.
A lot of them just don't have their shit together quite right.
Yeah.
And you got to know how to look at it in the right way. And that's what you're so good at doing.
Yeah, you have
And
to separate good projects from good investments. Sometimes
yeah.
a good project isn't a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people don't understand. Some people may find a project like, oh my God, look at this. This is so revolutionary, XYZ, but it's not a good investment.
Right.
Doesn't have the fundamentals. It's like a
What are some good examples of that to you?
so good examples of great projects, but not the best investments.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of RWA projects, I'd say. A lot of
RWA.
a lot of real world asset
Oh,
projects
okay.
have great fundamentals, but like they're not good investments. They don't have the fundamentals. Retail aren't FOMOing into this project. The marketing isn't doing well. How do you convince someone to invest into, for example, a storage project or
Storage.
lending protocol? Only a few lending protocols do well. You know,
Okay.
it's like that. It
Yeah.
needs the capacity to generate hype.
Hype and also like a reason that people would need it. Is that part of your
Yeah, but sometimes a project
Yeah.
has utility, but it has no token utility. For
Okay,
example,
right.
you can use a project without the need of the token, and if
Yep.
it's a project that doesn't have the capacity to generate hype, it just won't pump.
Yeah. That's right. So why hold or use Caspa? Here's Zabu.
The guy will pump. Why hold and use Casper? If you're looking for a safe investment to make like a 10x, in my perspective, that's the only
Like, what's
reason.
the utility of Caspa?
Payment solution.
Okay. And it's
That's
like,
the main idea. Look, I'm not a Casper maxi by any means. I'm not one of those delusional Casper maxis thinking it's going to flip Bitcoin. But Casper Utilities is a payment solution. Whether or not people use it, I don't care. Perception is reality. People perceive Casper as the next big thing, and as a result, it'll do very well.
yeah. And so it's got the hype. That's what matters to you. But also, I think the vision behind Caspa is to be like everything Bitcoin and Ethereum is combined, essentially.
Well, they do aim to develop smart contracts.
Yeah.
They do aim
And
to
all that.
implement smart contracts at some point, yes, to do the Ethereum-esque side of it. But
Mm-hmm.
it needs to be EVM compatible. If it's
Right.
not EVM compatible, no one will use it. It's as simple as
Yeah.
that.
And that's where Cosmos ecosystem is making good strides in, and even Solana is now
Mm.
making some EVM compatibility. That's been some of
Neon.
the interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, man, it's an honor to have you on the show, baby. We did it. Spur of the moment. Let's go.
Yeah, we did.
I think I might start doing shows more often just because I've been doing so much research. I helped George prep his streams.
Mhm.
And like 95% of all of my findings, he's not ever going to talk about, most likely.
You need a
And but
platform
he
to talk about it.
and it's not that he doesn't want to be aware. He wants to be aware of what's going on, but there's just so much that I dump in there. But then as far as it actually getting into his streams, that's a different story. But he does want to start doing more degen type plays. But he's more of like half of his audience are Bitcoin maxis, and they don't like a whole lot of degen type stuff.
Yeah, it's
So
because they're being told by influencers that they're scams and crap coins. They're not told that once Bitcoin was a low cap. They're not told that once Ethereum was a low cap. Once Solana was a low cap.
yeah, it's just it's a little bit of a different animal. But George himself, he likes to be in the know, likes to know what's going on. And so a lot of this stuff that goes to George, it's like, maybe I was thinking I should start streaming more alpha type shows, gym hunting type shows,
Mhm.
what's going on in the world of crypto type things. Like even like Flux is talking to Akash to make a partnership potentially. It hasn't happened yet, but they're in talks. Things like that. Man, there's so much alpha to talk about that I like. Yeah. So, all right, man. If there's anything I can ever do for you, if you ever need anything, hit me up. We ought to do this more often. I know you're a busy man, though. You've got
very busy.
a community. Hey, which Josh, by the way, mentioned. Josh is like, Seth is so dang busy.
Yeah,
It's hard to get a hold of and stuff. Yeah.
I have too many DMs. I have like probably over like 3,000 DMs.
Yeah. So sending like 15-minute long voice messages about DeFi Kingdoms probably doesn't help.
It doesn't. Yeah, I was listening to them and I was walking.
But hey, it's 2x speed. It's efficient. Just get all that information in there, baby.
Yep. 100%.
Okay. 100%. Love you, man. Have a great weekend. It's already is it Saturday for you already out there?
Oh, yeah, it is.
I love you.
No worries.
We'll be betting, baby. Karate Combat. Is that your number one token right now at this moment that you're most bullish on?
Karate, OTK, and Tetsun. I'm evenly bullish on them all. They're all going to do amazing.
Yeah. And then the OTC, that's an interesting one.
OTK,
which is Octo Gaming on Solana. Okay, baby. All right, guys. Crypto Seth, who's fighting Shiny D, maybe in the Dominican Republic.
Or Mexico.
Maybe. I think that's just more rumor. I think it's still going to be in the Dominican Republic regardless.
Who knows? Who knows at this point, to be honest?
We're going to be finding out this week when the fight is, where the fight is.
Do you reckon it's going to be in March, or do you think it's in February?
I'm hoping March 1. I've been pushing them, only LARPing hard. I need every extra day of training I can get. My cardio, but I don't care. I'm fighting if I got a torn hamstring, I'm getting in the pit, baby.
Amazing.
Doesn't even matter.
100%.
If I'm out of shape, fat and out of shape with a torn hammy, we're still getting in the pit, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Can't wait.
I love it, man. So Crypto Seth, Crypto Grady out. Love you guys. We'll keep going. Be sure to sub to this bright star, up and coming monster in the crypto space. Make sure you sub to his channel, guys. Love you. Love you guys. Peace.